All right, gentlemen. Well, let's dive into session 7 of Trouble in Theondir. In the previous session, our group of adventurers had finally passed the test set out for them by Maalethon at Theondir Keep. Grogil, slipping into something of a trance, would release a magic missile blast from his hand, knocking Maalethon to the ground, who, as it turned out, was actually a doppelganger posing as the head of security. The real, or perhaps just another Maalethon, would emerge and lead the group into a side room where he provided the adventurers not only with the instructions for how to complete their task, but also a host of supplies that might prove useful to them. After humiliating Maalethon's servant on the way out of the keep, the group would eventually make their way northward.
I forgot about that.
You guys are so mean. After a short rest at the Rickety Knee Inn, which was paid for by Kerrhylon and one of the gems he had received from Maalethon, the adventurers crossed over the Daelandar River into Upper Gate Town and followed the road to its end in the furthest corner of Lower Gate Town, finally arriving at the Riverside Respite. It was here that Maalethon's contact person to the rebel organization called the Knot, a man named Graywater, was last heard from. Within minutes of arriving at the Riverside Respite, Grogil volunteered himself as one of the fighters in the afternoon's main event, and the rest of the group had quickly thrown down upwards of 100 platinum on their half-orc friend and his 10-to-1 odds. The other fighter, Gorlog, a 9-foot-tall orc monstrosity, would emerge and the fight would commence. Of course, the result was already determined thanks to Niv's quick thinking and his successful casting of the suggestion spell. With a stroke of good fortune, Grogil was able to dispose of Gorlog in the Daelandar River to the surprise and horror of many in the audience. In the meantime, a party of goblins had snuck onto the premises, with one of the more stealthy of these successfully pickpocketing Traego. This devious deed, however, was noticed by Bholen, Niv, and Kerrhylon, who sprung into action just as the rest of the goblin party cut them off with a surprise attack. The battle, however, did not last long, with the remainder of the living goblin party fleeing into the shadows as Niv proudly waved his Theondir medallion and thereby loudly announced the group's ties to the Theondir military. The owner of the Riverside Respite, Baradon Balador, pleased with the group's disposal of the goblin scum that had accrued around his establishment, provided the group with food, drinks, and rooms on the house. As the evening was beginning to wind down, and as the group was preparing to call it a night, a faint noise was suddenly heard from the far side of the tavern, the creaking of a door in the shadows. And with a whoosh, a dagger came flying through the air, passing dangerously close to Niv's face and lodging itself into the woodwork of the wall within inches of Bholen's head. A beautiful dagger with an intricate twisting vine handle coming together in an intricate Celtic-like knot on the end, and around which was wrapped a piece of parchment, a note.
Do you guys remember
Adventurers, what would you like to do?
Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
I don't.
All right.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I don't remember that.
What?
You don't remember the dagger?
No.
I don't think it
I
happened.
don't.
We were headed into the inn.
No, you guys were in the inn. Are you serious? You don't remember that?
Yeah, I don't remember
I don't.
that. Okay, so the dagger,
I'm sure it did happen.
is it late at night right now?
So it's about 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Okay, I get up
Are
and
we-
I barrel ass towards the door, just as fast as I can run.
Okay? Yeah.
Okay.
Grogil heads over to
I-
the door.
I'm gonna follow him I can't run as fast as him obviously, but I'm gonna follow him to the door.
Okay, you guys run over to the door. You burst the door open and you stare out into the night, and there's a slight moon there. And as you look around, you don't see anybody on the street there.
The dagger
It
came
seems
from
to
the
be
door?
completely empty.
Yeah, where did the dagger
Okay.
come from?
Dagger.
It came from outside?
It came from the direction of the door. You heard the creaking of a door. It came from that direction. But you didn't see anybody. It was from the shadows. It was dark over there. I mean, this is a really dark tavern, so it's kind of hard to see. You can really only see a few tables over. So you didn't really get a good glance at anything that happened there. You just heard this noise, and the daggers lodged inches from Bholen's head.
All right,
Can
so
I- Go ahead, Paul.
I was going to say, I'm going to send my wolf out, see if she can pick anything up.
All right, go ahead and send her out. Give me a perception roll for her with a +5.
+5.
So she got a 10.
+5? Or did you roll a 5?
Oh,
Okay.
man. So Sora goes out and starts sniffing around, and she picks up something of scent right at the door. But there's a lot of scents here, a lot of smells, and it gets confusing there. There's too much action from the door, and she kind of loses anything there, and kind of returns back to you with her tail stuck between her legs.
Okay.
Does anybody have any like tracking skills?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna. Well, first thing I want to do is I want to check around the door. Maybe there's like a trap door or something.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
17.
17. The door looks fine. There's no traps there. Everything's okay there. Just
All right.
a normal creaky door.
Okay, so now I'm gonna. I mean, I have. Let's see here. I'll check. I mean, I'll check around the floor for any kind of footprints or any kind of marks, anything like that would suggest somebody was there.
I mean, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. I mean, it's a pretty beat up floor. I mean, there's been a lot of traffic today. There's been a lot of people watching the fights and coming in and out all day long. So there's not much to see there. In fact,
Does the door open in or does it open out?
It opens inward.
I want to check out the dagger.
Yeah, I want to pull the dagger out. It's right by my head, right?
It's right here. I mean, it's within inches of your head.
Okay.
Bholen.
And how many people are in this right now with us?
I mean, it started to trickle out a bit, but there's still a few tables left. I mean, I would say maybe about 15, 20, 25 people. Like I said, it's pretty dark in here. You can't see all the corners and the niches out here. But there's still a musician playing some music in the background. So I mean, the tavern, the bar is still there's still some life here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Did anybody else notice this? Or are we the only ones that noticed the dagger?
Not that they cared about or noticed or cared about.
All
No,
right.
it hasn't really aroused any suspicion.
I want to kick my heels up on the table, and I'm just gonna lay back and pull the dagger out from next to my face, and just kind of toss it over to Niv.
Toss it over to Niv. Niv, are you gonna try to catch this knife?
I just want to I don't not throw it. I'm just gonna kind of gently
You're not gonna throw the knife at Niv.
Matt,
here, look at it.
Matt, I'm gonna come in, but I'm gonna stay right by the door, shut the door, kind of guarding.
And Grogil kind of stands there. Are you gonna have your morning star out?
Of course.
Okay, so Grogil is standing by the door waiting. And Niv, you're sitting on the other end of this table, and you hear this ka-ting, ting, 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 and you look down, and you see this knife with this sort of intricate handle on it and this intricate Celtic knot on the end with this parchment wrapped around it. And Bholen doesn't seem to care about it. He tosses it over to you.
While this is happening, I'm going back to sit down with Niv and Tim.
Can I take the parchment off? Is it tied on there?
Yeah, so there's a little leather strip that is wrapped around the parchment, around the handle.
Matt,
can
I interrupt real quick?
Yeah.
Before you do that, so I took some serious damage before all this. How long have we been there now?
In this tavern?
Yeah, I mean, since the battle with the goblins, I mean, I'm down 10 hit points, so I'm just wondering.
Been here 6 hours or so. You've been eating and drinking and revelry and celebrating your victory today.
Okay, so good. So I'm all healed.
A couple more hours, you'd have a long rest. I mean, you've been about midnight. You probably have a full rest there.
Good. So while these guys are you're going through with all them, I'm going to go into the main area with Sora and kind of sit down and observe and see if anybody pops up or anything weird happens.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and take a seat there.
All right.
Niv, what were you going to do there?
Well, I just want to take that parchment off there and see if is there writing on it. What's on that parchment?
So you pull the leather off and you pull the parchment off the handle and it's wrapped around pretty tightly, and you open it up and there you see a note and there's a handwritten note on it. And I'll let me show this to you, Niv, and you can decide whether or not you want to actually tell the others about it. You're holding it up in front of your face. They see you opening it up. They see you reading something, but let me show you the note, and we'll see if you want to tell everyone else.
I'm just going to keep drinking.
Yeah. Okay. Try not to look.
Oh, so we shouldn't look at the big medallion? Or...
So there you go. It says, an impressive showing today, but you would do well to show less,
should we not be hearing this?
especially your lovely medallions.
Yeah.
Should we not have heard that?
That's okay. I mean, you guys, I mean, well, no metagame. You can pretend you don't know what it says. Unless Niv wants to tell you.
I'm just going to crumple it up and say it's not intended for us. Someone must just be a bad aim.
Huh.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah.
So you crumple it up and interesting.
Do I sense any motive? Like, can I tell that he's lying?
Go ahead and give me an insight check there, Traego. And actually, let's make this a contest. Niv, give me a deception check. We'll have deception versus Traego's insight.
18.
Traego, your wisdom sucks.
Yeah, dude, it's so terrible.
So you totally believe him. I mean, Niv crumples this up. Are you throwing it behind you, or are you sticking in your pocket? What are you doing with the Niv?
Yeah, I'm just going to. There's no candles or fires or anything around, is there?
I mean, there's little candles on every table. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just reach it over and burn it.
Okay. And the parchment's really super dry, so it lights up and burns up pretty quickly.
Is there anything fancy other than the hilt and all that on that dagger?
No, I mean, it's just a solid metal dagger, but it's a really beautiful piece of work. Yeah, like I said, it's really intricately carved, and the end is really beautiful and really nice Celtic design.
The Vikings are losing by 20 at home?
Yeah, they're sucking.
Wow.
I'll offer the dagger back to Bholen. Say, you want this? If not, I'm going to keep it.
Is there any way that you can tell?
Yeah, I'll take it.
That I can tell, like, if it's worth money.
I'll just give him back
just by looking
the
at
dagger.
I mean, you could tell that it's probably, you could get a nice penny for it.
But it's not like anything like super special.
Give me actually, let's do a check there. Give me let's do investigation check actually. Use your intelligence there.
9. God, that was 2
9.
bad rolls in a row.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell it's probably could get you some money because it's nicely carved, but more than that, you don't really know.
Guys, I had to take my headset off for a minute. Did I miss anything or?
They're just giving the knife back to
Bholen. It doesn't matter.
Massive fight.
No, I thought I heard something about long rest.
So Niv actually took the note and burned it. He read it and burned it, and then in a couple hours, you guys will have your full recovery.
Okay.
What
the note say?
Well, he read it, and then he said it wasn't actually anything for us, and then he burned it.
Okay.
Bullshit.
So the three of us are sitting at the table. Eric, you're up by the door, and Paul, you're sitting kind of away from us, just kind of observing, correct?
Yeah, I'm out kind of just outside the doorway.
Where's the owner, the Baradon?
Yeah.
Is he in the bar?
He's you don't see him right now. He could be back in the kitchen. He could be up in the rooms. Yeah, you don't see him right now.
Okay.
He's not there.
So refresh was this the inn that we were going to make our kind of like base of operations for now?
So this is the last place that Maalethon had heard of Graywater. This is the last point of contact he had with him was at the
Riverside this is okay.
Respite. Yeah.
All right, so talking to the other two intelligent people in the group, what is our plan to ferret out Graywater.
Because what time of night did you say it was, Matt?
It's 10 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe we should talk to the owner. Maybe we should get some more information from him.
Yeah. And also, we need to talk to Grogil about our platinum that he's got on him.
Because do we know?
Yeah.
Do we know that
he killed the bookie?
Right.
Yeah,
do we know that,
he stuck a knife through his eye.
Oh yeah. I guess did we even see that? Because we were
though?
fighting. We don't even necessarily know that he's got it.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys even know that. I mean, everything happened pretty quickly. You were in the middle of the fight with the goblins.
That all the more reason we should talk to Baradon.
Yeah.
He would know who has our money. If he's the owner.
Good point.
Yeah,
Let's flag down a serving girl or a serving guy and ask for the proprietor.
Yeah, there's a woman there who's running around. She sees you flag her down, and she comes over and says, "Yes, can I help you with something?"
Is the proprietor in? Or I'd like to have a word with him real quick.
Baradon, yeah, he's in the kitchen. Do you want me to grab him for you?
Please, yes.
Okay, she runs off, and is after a few minutes later, you see this big man walking out again, the same guy who invited you in, and he comes over to you guys, and he's smiling once again, really pleased with your work today in getting rid of that goblin scum that's been bothering his establishment, and he says, "Well, my fine gentleman, can I get you another round of drinks for your work today?"
Yeah, please. I'll take another round, and then I'd also like whatever you have in the stew pot, or whatever is for supper tonight as well.
All right, he turns over. Mary, come over here. Bring these boys some more drinks and more to eat. And Mary, the servant girl, runs back in the kitchen and starts preparing. And after a few minutes, she comes out with bowls of stew with freshly baked bread and some eggs and some real good hearty meats. And she lays them down on your table along with a round of ales for all of you.
Matt, I make my way back to the table after seeing the food.
Grogil starts heading back. Yeah.
So we're still in the city, right? This inn is in the city.
So yeah, so if you guys you remember the map,
it's on the outskirts, right?
Yeah, it's on the very northwest side of the town. It's kind of the part of the city that the rest of the city has forgotten. It's the slums of Theondir.
Yeah. Okay, while the owner is there, I'm gonna ask him if goblin attacks are a normal thing. If he's got a goblin infestation, why are they attacking inside the city?
Well, we've had problems with goblins for years, he says. This part, Lower Gate Town, this is a bit of the Wild West of Theondir here. There's anything can happen here. The law does not really seem to come here. They don't seem to care. We kind of run our own show. We have our own rules. We have our own regulations. And you guys, you stepped in perfectly, carried out the law, as I see, in a perfect way.
I ask him how much for the inn, how much for his building.
You want to buy my building, my man?
Yes.
How much for the...
10,000 gold, you can have it.
Done.
Going into real estate now? It's going to be
Grogil, you've been holding out on us? Where'd you get all this money?
been buying up Sandy.
What's the equivalent in platinum pieces?
10,000 would be a 1,000. 1,000 platinum.
So we don't have enough money.
One bar? An inn?
The end of the campaign, you guys buy an inn and just spend the rest of your days drinking ale.
I'm going to invite him to sit down and say I have a couple questions for him.
Okay, so he sits down with you. I'll join you. Mary, come over here. Bring me some more ale. And Mary, the servant girl, comes running over and drops another couple ales in front of him, and he starts drinking ale with you guys. What do you want to know, my friends?
Well, I'm going to ask him. I heard an old friend was in town, and I haven't seen him in a very long time. And I'm just wondering, the last I heard, he was going by the name of Graywater.
Graywater. I never heard that name before. Graywater. That doesn't ring any bells for me. There's a lot of people coming through here.
Can we see anyone paying attention to us talking to the?
Go ahead first. Give me an insight check, Bholen, and then we'll do a perception check for Niv. Niv, you go ahead and give me a perception check.
Right back.
We're 9.
9. Yeah, I mean, he seems like he's telling the truth.
I got a
For
7.
sure. 7. I don't notice anything. Like I said, this place is super dark. It's really hard to see here. So you can see a few tables around you, but that's about it.
I mean, I have dark vision. Do I see anybody?
Yeah, that's a good point. You do have dark vision. Give me a perception check, you Bholen.
Much better. 23. 24.
Okay. You notice as you look around, Bholen, you see there's a small stage, and there's a musician playing there. He's busy playing a mandolin, playing some music, and you start to pan your eyes across, and you see a few more tables with a few dwarves. You see another table with a man sitting by himself. You keep panning over. There's another table with what looks to be some half elves, and there's a mix of people here. Nothing really seems to stick out to you.
Nobody familiar looking?
Minding their business. Nothing familiar that you've noticed, no.
I'll relay that to the group. I'll let everybody know, like, there's kind of a shady guy over here sitting by himself. There's a bunch of elves over here and a bunch of dwarves over here. Everybody's just really drunk.
I immediately walk over and grab the guy by the neck.
Oh shit! Hold on here.
Which guy?
The shady looking dude.
Sitting by
They're
himself?
all shady looking.
The one you referenced in your last little.
Oh, okay.
The guy sitting by himself?
Yeah.
No, so you walk over and you grab his neck. And it's a man, a sort of middle-aged man, and he's got this sort of hood over his face, and he looks up at you and grabs him by the neck, and you can see immediately that his eyes start to turn an orangish, blazing color. He doesn't say a word, but you can tell he's starting to lose air.
Yeah. And at this point, I'm running up. Not that I can do anything, but I'm running up behind Grogil to try to stop him. Not that
I'm kicking my feet up on the desk.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
I'm gonna run over and stand behind the group.
You can't deal, Tim, or what?
My character
can't
is,
even.
is over being a babysitter.
I throw him against the wall.
Associate.
I throw him up against the wall and let him get up.
All right, go ahead and roll me an attack there. Or actually, no, let's just take your strength there. We'll say he does 8 points of damage. He flies against the wall and slides on the wall. And he sort of just crumples into a ball and lays there. He doesn't actually get up.
Is he conscious?
He's conscious, but he's just lying there.
All I say is Graywater.
I'm gonna kneel down by the guy, not touch him or anything, but I'm gonna look up and be like, "You need to go sit down over there. I'll handle this. Go have your ale."
The man looks up at you.
No, I'm telling that to Eric, to Grogil.
You're saying that to Grogil.
Yeah, I'm telling that to.
As you're saying this, the man looks up, and you see a sort of a shimmer comes across him as he starts to mutter some words, and he gives his hand gesture as he reaches into his pocket, and there's a shimmering that comes across his body, and you guys, Bholen especially, you notice, recognizes as a cure wound spell, and he immediately gains his hit points back and stands up tall and looks at you and says, "What is the meaning of this?"
Graywater, do you know him?
I've never heard of the name. Who are you?
And Tarek.
Are we able to hear this?
You guys are too far away. Yeah, but Traego, you ran up, right?
Yeah, I ran up. So I'm gonna turn to the guy and say, "I apologize for my violent friend. Can I buy you a drink and we can talk about this like civilized people?" And I'm gonna look back at Eric again and be like, "Kind of get the hell out of here. Go back to your drinks, Grogil."
People, like civilized people. Perhaps a few gold that would make me feel a bit more civilized," he says.
I pull a platinum out and fling it to him.
He grabs it, catches it in his hand.
100 gold.
Yeah. Throws it into his pocket.
Uh-huh.
And sits down again. Goes back to his drink. But he's keeping an eye on you now at this point.
Okay.
Man, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go stand behind. You said there was a group of half elves.
There was a group of half elves over there, yeah, as well.
I'm gonna kind of saunter over there. I'm gonna leave Sora where she is in the room, but I'm gonna saunter over, kind of nonchalantly, and just stand behind them and.
You guys, as you walk over this, they kind of look behind you, and I mean this is a sketchy place. So, I mean you can tell that they are putting their hands on the hilts of their swords. They don't appreciate you getting quite so close to them. And the rest of you come back to the table. Grogil, you come back to the table and sit down. And can I actually have a few minutes with just Grogil?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'll give you guys a thumb up when it's time. So Grogil, as you're sitting there at the table, the server Mary comes over again with a large glass of ale. She sets it down in front of you, and she leans over and whispers into your ear. You seem to be gaining a bit of popularity here. And she casts her eyes over to the other side of the room, a dark corner of the tavern where you can hardly make out a lone figure sitting at the table. His eyes are intensely resting on you. And he gestures to you, and Mary says, "A drink from a friend." She heads back into the kitchen, and the man is staring you down intensely.
Okay, so when we come back, I want to, if you could somehow make it like I'd kind of just walk over there.
Yep. So we'll have you just kind of, you can kind of try to just get up and slowly move over there. And I don't think they'll notice a whole lot. They'll notice you leaving, but yeah, you kind of head over. You could even give them an excuse if you want.
Okay. Also, how many platinum pieces do I have?
You have 100 platinum, I think.
It also says I have 100 gold pieces worth of gems.
Yep. You got that from Kerrhylon.
Okay,
yep.
So how many platinum then?
You had, I think it was 100. You had 50 and 20 from Traego and 20 from Bholen and 10 from Niv. So you have 100 platinum.
Well, I have 99 now.
Yeah, that's right. 99 now.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
So you make your way over to this guy, and you see he's wearing this cloak, and he's wearing a long reddish cloak, and he looks up at you, and with his strange sort of voice, he says, "Quite an impressive display today. I could certainly use some talent like yours."
Can I tell if he's human or?
Give me a quick perception check.
13.
13. You can tell that he's not entirely human. There's a strange sort of beak thing sticking out of his hood, and he looks quite similar actually to Baz, the guy that you put the sword through his eye. And he continues to speak to you. He says, "I'm not so much impressed with your fighting as your disposing of Baz, that dirty double-crossing bookie servant whose eye you so skillfully put your sword through. He's been a long-time competitor of mine, but it was time he was taken out of the picture. There are others, you know." And he pauses for a second. "But I seem to be far too eager here. Excuse my poor manners." And he gestures to the servant Mary. And he waves to her. She comes over 2 more ales and places them down on the table in front of you. "First things first." And he picks up the drink and raises it up to cheers with you.
Okay, I can't turn. Yep.
And he slams the sucker down. He drinks the whole thing in a couple seconds and slams the ale down on the table.
I do the same.
Gestures to the servant to bring over 2 more, and Mary runs back over 2 more glasses of ale. And as she's doing this, he says, "I have a proposal for you that is too good to pass up. There's a competitor in these parts, Baz's bookie, who's been running a racket around the wagering and betting world. It would be tragic were he to disappear the Dalandar River, but it would sure be good for my business. And with that, he slams down a sack on the table, and he says to you, 500 gold worth of precious gems now, and 500 more when the river god has received her gift.
I grab the gems and put them in my pouch.
Okay, you throw them in your pouch. So you can go ahead and write down 500 gold of precious gems. And he takes his ale that came from Mary, and he slams that down, slams the ale down on the table again. This guy can sure drink.
And I say, what's his name?
His name, Zanu.
Zandu? Okay.
Zanu. And he gestures for Mary to bring over 2 more ales. You still have one on your table you haven't drunk. And Mary comes running over with 2 more ales, slams them down on the table.
So I slam the ale.
Okay.
And then I say, one more thing. Do you know anything about Graywater?
Graywater. The name is familiar indeed. And he takes his next ale, his last one, and he slams that one as well. This guy can really put him down. Perhaps there's someone you would like to meet, he says.
Yes.
Follow me, he says. And he lifts up the empty glass to cheers you one more time.
Okay, I cheers him again. And maybe you should get back to the other group.
All right, hold on. We'll give me a second here.
Oh, sorry.
So one more second here. So he starts to walk out the side door, a different door on the other side of the room, and he quietly leads you through the shadows of the tavern, opens it into a dark alleyway, and takes a step out. Are you going to follow him or let him go?
I'm going to tell him, meet me here in the morning. I'm not following him.
The morning will be too late, my friend. And now is the time.
I shrug and go back in.
Okay. So Grogil, you head back into the door, and he says, very well. But those 500 gold worth of precious stones will be mine. We may never see me again, he says. And he stammers out the door. And
well, I mean, we still have the deal about this other bookie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So he takes off out the door, and you turn around and head back into the middle of the room.
Paul. No one's around.
No one's around. We've lost the rest of the group. Give him the thumbs up. I'm gonna.
And we're back.
Yep, we're back.
And we're back.
Blazing new hip hop and R&B hits first.
Is Traego with us?
Danny, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm not Traego, though.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Damn.
What the hell is that? Matt's like all excited and like, what the hell? What?
All right, so I
Okay.
want all of you guys, except for Grogil, to give me a perception check. Go ahead and roll perception.
God damn it. Fuck.
Ooh, another
18.
24.
Ooh.
16.
Traego, what'd you have?
19s in a row.
I shit the bed again, so don't worry about it. I'm rolling really terribly.
Kerrhylon, what'd you do?
16.
16. Okay, so everyone except for Traego. Traego's busy. I don't know what he's doing Sudoku or something at his table.
Well, I want to sit down with the dude that Eric threw against the wall or whatever.
All right, so Traego, you're gonna head over there. The rest
Yeah.
of you though, you see the server Mary come over and place a glass down of ale in front of Grogil, and she whispers something into his ear. And after a couple minutes, you see him stand up and walk over to the opposite side of the room to a dark corner, and he sort of begins to fade out of your vision. Although, Bholen, you can see a faint outline of him as he sits down next to a figure. And before you know it, they're ordering drinks. Mary's coming over and giving them drinks, and they're throwing down some ale, and they have a short conversation. And they're talking for a while. And after a few minutes, Bholen, you especially, you see that this small figure gets up and he starts to walk over to the door, and he gestures for Grogil to follow him. And there's a sort of discussion happening there, and then he leaves the room. And Grogil turns back into the room, and you see Grogil now coming back into the center of the room. Grogil, are you with us?
I'm here. Yep.
How many ales did you have?
3.
3. Okay, give me a Constitution save.
I'm not at. I'm 350 pounds. I can't have. 3
I know you're
ales.
350 pounds, but you don't do very well with poison.
Oh shit!
You're
Give
gonna
me a Constitution save.
Will you roll? Someone else roll it for me. I'm upstairs.
What?
Right
All right.
No.
What's your
Are you playing or
constitution?
you not playing?
What's your Constitution benefit there?
Hold on, I'm coming right back.
I rolled a 13.
I'm so
No,
excited to
that's
play
not
D&D.
Whatever-
man.
whatever
I don't think I've
your,
seen you
uh,
on screen for more than 2 minutes.
Whatever your
I had to take a
modifiers
shit,
are.
Tim.
Oh, he's talking to us on the toilet.
Poison will do that to you.
Oh no!
No. Hold on, I'm coming back. I'll roll.
God damn it!
Is Tim mad at Grogil or Eric? I can't tell.
Eric.
All right.
So no metagaming. You guys don't know. You guys don't know what's going on. You just see Grogil walking back in. Give me a Constitution save, Grogil.
17.
17. But you had 3 ales.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take a few steps into the middle of the room, and you guys see him, the 3 of you, not Traego, you see him suddenly collapse down to his knees, and his arms go limp before him, and you see his eyes kind of roll up in his head, and he falls face down flat onto the floor. He is out, unconscious.
That's one way to
So
get me
I'm-
out of the game.
I'm just gonna say, wow, for as big as he is, he sure can't hold his liquor, can he?
Yeah.
What are the
What's in your liquor, Baradon?
Matt? What are the half elves doing?
Half elves are, I mean, they hear this, poof, and they look over and see Grogil lying on the floor, and then they go back to their business. I mean, they have some sort of deal they're talking about. It seems like they're busy engaging with each other, so they really could care less about what's going on over there with Grogil.
All right.
So does
I'll lean over to. I want to lean
innkeeper?
over to Baradon.
Well, does
Yeah.
the
Lean over
innkeeper
to
think we're
Baradon.
part of the like the city guard or whatever, or does he think we're just random travelers?
Well, he's a bit suspicious now because you're flashing around your Theondir military medallions, so he knows that you're not just the normal scum that comes through this place. That there's something going on, and it's hard to tell if he's being nice to you because he wants to find out more information, or if he's just really nice to you because he's happy you got rid of the goblins.
Well, I'm sitting there talking to the guy that Eric threw against the wall, trying to figure out if he's the whatever, and I don't notice any of this shit. So
No.
I guess I'll lean over to Baradon and just kind of ask him, this par for the course with the ale you serve, or I've seen this hulking menace drink quite a bit, and I only saw him have a couple, and he's already out. So maybe there's something you wanna tell me before it's too late, and I'll slide a gold piece over to him.
Slide a gold piece over to him. He
And I'm
pockets
gonna
it.
I'm gonna take
quickly.
my drink and just chug it and be like, I love your ale, Baradon, and just and ask for another.
Baradon says, well, this is a bit unusual. Usually we have people passing out after 2-3 in the morning, but I've never seen anything like that, especially with someone his size. Let's get him up on his feet, he says. He walks over to Grogil and picks him up and pulls him up to his feet. And he sees as he picks
He's
him up,
able to pick him up.
he can. I mean, Baradon is huge too.
Okay.
Baradon's a massive guy. He just slings him over his shoulder, and he sees his eyes are kind of rolling back. He says, "Let's get this one to bed. let's take him up to bed, he says.
So wait a minute.
Starts
So,
to-
Traego
go ahead.
he was in the corner of the bar and talked to somebody in the shadows. So who's in the shadows now? I'm gonna go over there.
You walk over there, and there's a table there left with about 8 ale glasses, empty ale glasses. One of them actually Grogil didn't finish, and the table's empty. There's no one there anymore. Whoever was there left the door, walked out the establishment.
So I'm gonna go walk out the establishment and see if I can see him walking away.
So you walk out the establishment, and as you come out the door, Kerrhylon,
Uh-huh.
Baradon says, hold on, let me follow you. We got to take him over to the lodging. And so he comes right behind you, Baradon, right behind you, walking right behind you, because the lodging is actually the next building over. We got to get this guy in bed. He's had enough here.
Hold on, wait a minute. Before, so just stop 1 second. I want to check the alleyway here, the roadway.
Okay, so you walk out, and go ahead and give me a perception check.
20.
20. Okay, you see a short figure, probably about 4.5 feet tall, that's sort of walking down the alleyway, about ready to turn the corner. And that's all you see. He gets to the corner and makes the corner and walks away.
So can I race to kind of catch up to him?
Yeah, okay. You race over to him, and you come up behind him, and he's walking away. And what do you want to say to him?
I want to grab him and say, what did you do to my I don't want to say friend. Companion.
Hey.
What did you do to this guy?
He says, I don't know what you're talking about, friend. He says.
I grab him by the neck and I'm going to put him up against the wall and say, you better start talking right now, because obviously you did something to him. The sword is right up there with him.
I don't know who you're talking about, he says.
All right, I see Graywater.
Graywater. I know Graywater. I know the name Graywater. I've heard the name Graywater, he says.
I'm dragging him back to the fucking bar.
Okay, so you start dragging him back, and you can tell. I mean, he's got the strange beak protruding out of his hood, looking similar to the guy actually that was the bookie guy. And as you start walking, back, you hear this from around the corner, and you hear.
Oh, here he comes.
Oh, you hear from his throat being grabbed. He says, "Gorgon, help me!" And running around the corner with massive steps is the orc that Grogil had fought the day before, earlier this day. Comes crashing around the corner, charging full speed at you, Kerrhylon. So let me go ahead and get this board set up.
Okay.
We're gonna have to skip one of the boards because I didn't think you guys would go here, but I'm gonna give me a couple seconds to get this set up, and then we're gonna roll some initiative, Kerrhylon.
Oh, shit.
All right, so let me go ahead and get your placement here. So,
This is the
Kerrhylon.
bar.
Wait, where's the map?
So here's Kerrhylon, right there, and Soro's not with you at this point. Did you say she was with you? I didn't catch that.
I didn't grab that guy. She was like right on, right there.
All right, we'll put her right behind you then.
Right.
Save.
So there we go, and let's see here. We'll have this little dude here. We'll put him. He's right here with you.
I got him by the neck, man.
Yep. And here comes Gorla crashing around the corner like that.
And which building are we in?
So you guys are actually off to behind Kerrhylon, kind of off the screen
Off
there.
map.
All right.
Okay.
Off the map, yeah. So this is just the corner here.
Yep. Okay.
So you're
So
over
us-
this direction here.
Us being inside, we would not be able to hear anything, even like this big ogre like running something.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry, I missed it. Where are they again? Where's the entrance to the...
We're off screen, like
To the north.
to the north.
Yeah, they're
of
off
you.
screen at this point.
In which direction?
To the north of you.
So right behind you.
Okay.
Yep, to the north of you, exactly. So, we have Gorlok comes running around the corner, and he is charging down on you. Let's go ahead, Paul, and roll initiative, and see what we can do here.
All right. Where are we? 5.
5.
Oh,
Okay.
Nice.
And all right, so let's see. So you are going to be the last. Go ahead and roll for Sorrow as well.
She has the same as me, so let's see. She got a 17.
Oh wow. Sorrow. Okay, so Gorlog has the highest initiative here. So we're gonna go ahead and do some combat here. He's going to go ahead and charge right up to you now, and he's gonna come crashing right into your face, right here.
You're gonna die.
We'll see.
Get the hell out of there.
Why
Fire
don't
you.
ya?
We'll see how Kerrhylon does in relation to this guy. And he's going to come now with you, and he's going to make 2 great attacks, great axe attacks on you.
Did Sora get initiative?
Sora is after. So the first one, 9, misses you. The second one of an, let's see, 13. What's your AC again?
Jesus, armor class. I got leather armor. 13.
13. Okay, so we'll give it to you then. He comes with one hand and zoom, comes back across the other way, and you're able to dodge and pull out of the way, evading his attack at this point. We go next over to Sorrow. What does she want to do?
I want. She's gonna attack his leg.
Okay,
Today, like in the back.
go for it.
No, she got an 8.
An 8. I want to say she comes running up and tries to bite into his leg, and he just kind of swats at her, and she misses. Her teeth go right past. No, the guy you're holding by the neck, he's gonna try and pull out of it. So he's gonna go ahead and give me a strength check there.
Okay. 4.
4. Okay, so he's actually able to pull out of your grasp, and he falls down and starts to to move a little bit away from you now. He's gonna move behind Gorlog about 15 feet there, and he's now behind him. Go ahead, Kerrhylon. It is now your turn. You are engaged with Gorlog at this point.
I'm gonna spit acid in his face.
Okay, go for it. Give me an acid attack.
20.
20. You hit. Roll damage for me.
Wait. You can spit acid?
Yep.
Huh.
I don't want. Ideally, it's in his eyes, but. 4.
4. Okay. So
He's
you
got like 100 hit points.
Couple drops of acid.
So you can spit a little bit on. He gets some on his face, and you
got some lemon juice in there.
His face, and he's going to come back, and he's going to grab you now, Kerrhylon. He's going to try actually a grapple on you, and he's going to try and hold you.
Am I given the ability to kind of communicate with Sara before, during all this, to tell her to, Lassie, go tell him that Timmy's in the well?
Sure, let's say you can do that. We'll say you can communicate with Sora, and she's gonna have to turn around then and take off. And she goes and runs off into the bar. Now, he comes over to you and tries to grapple you, and he's gonna give you. Go ahead and give me an athletics check there.
Okay.
Paul can move too. Are you done with your turn? Are you gonna move? Do you want to move anywhere?
He would have a attack of opportunity if you left.
Yeah.
You could.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can try to run away if you want.
Yeah.
He can attack you if you try to run.
Let's do that.
Okay, you're gonna try to run away. Okay, he's gonna get an attack of opportunity on you though, and he's gonna roll, and he has an 11. So as you turn around, he comes with his great axe and slams it down to the stone. Sparks fly out, and you take off running. You get a whole 30 feet away. And then Gorlog is going to chase after you. Because now it's his turn again. And Gorlog is unable to catch you. Actually, he's slower than you are. You have 30 feet, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Gorlog has only 25 feet. So he comes charging after you within 5 feet of you. And he can't reach you. And he's going to... well, if he uses a dash, he's going to obviously catch you, but he can't attack you then. So he's just going to stop right there, 5 feet away from you, kind of bearing down on you. And we go over now to Sorrow's turn. She took off now, and she's now within the front door. She runs up to the inn.
Find somebody in my party and grab them.
Okay, so let's go back to the rest of you guys. You're all sitting in the inn, and suddenly the door opens, and the wolf comes running in, panting and making all sorts of noise. You guys have no idea what she's saying. Just drooling and panting and jumping around. Like, that's all you guys see. Traego, you're busy talking to this other guy.
Yeah, where is she right in the door?
Just came to the door, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to rush up to her as fast as I can. And I'm going to slowly pour my ale into her mouth because she looks so thirsty. Just poor thing. Poor thing.
Are you taking over for Grogil or what?
So she
I don't know.
just kind of lathers it up right and it calms her down a little bit, but she's not quite. She's still quite worked up from running in. Yeah.
Can I deduce from what's happening that something is wrong and like she wants me to follow her, or?
Oh, give me a. Oh boy, what should I say here? Give me a perception check with disadvantage because it's a friggin' wolf.
Man, did we all notice the Sorrow come in?
Traego, you're too busy. You're over in the corner talking to this guy. He's far too engaging.
I rolled a natural 20 and a 2.
So you're
Perception,
like, oh, it's a cute little wolf. Cute little wolf.
So it's 7.
Okay.
So 7.
At this point, Grogil, give me another Constitution save.
Is he knocked out? He's passed out, right?
And he's 20. 20. Okay. So at this point, Grogil, you sort of come to a little bit, but your head is super foggy, and you are super dizzy. You can't really see anything. You have no idea what's going on, but you're being lugged on the back of this big orc-like figurine, and he's kind of dragging you to the door where this wolf is at this point.
No,
things are confusing.
I buck off.
Go ahead and give me an acrobatics check with disadvantage because you're not quite yourself.
8.
8. Okay, yeah. You can't quite do it. You try to like move off, and the guy, he's holding you pretty tight. He turns to you and says, "All right, come on, my friend. Well, we're gonna put you in the bed for the night." He says. He's still heading towards the door.
Can I ask can I see like the door is open, right, to the bar?
Yep.
Sora launched through the door and petting her, but can I see like outside? Can I see Kerrhylon and the orc fighting, or are they like out of my line of sight?
Give me a perception check. Give me a perception check on that one.
Is Baradon still sitting at the table?
9.
No, he's got me.
I know you can't see anything. Yeah. No, Baradon's carrying Grogil. Bholen, you don't really notice anything out there.
Jesus, people.
So Kerrhylon is turning tail now,
and
he is trying to run as fast as he can. That was Sorrow's turn. The guy that you had in his throat, he's going to turn to you and pull out a throwing knife. And he's going to throw it at you at disadvantage because you are far away. And the throwing knife shoosh, comes flying past you, misses you, Kerrhylon, and you are still ahead of him. It is your turn now. What would you like to do, Kerrhylon?
How far am I from the door of the bar?
You're about 35, 40 feet. You'd be able to get in the door if you dashed.
I'm dashing.
Okay, so you dash and you come flying through the door. The rest of you are sitting there, and now poof, the door flies open, and Baradon, carrying Grogil, stops and sort of comes back, and Kerrhylon comes flying through the door. What do you want to say?
Me?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus, get down. Get in position. I'll bust through the door, and then I'm going to turn and like throw a table up and get my bell ready.
What do the rest of you say?
Oh.
Did we all notice this then?
Yeah, no, you definitely notice this. He comes flying through the door screaming, takes the table, throws it up, and flips it over.
You can do that now or wait till later.
I just stand up and I'm still holding on to my ale.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah. I'm kind of just turning
I'm
towards
still
him
petting
like,
you.
I didn't notice that he was gone, so I had no idea.
Oh, okay. So no response from them.
I'm eating and drinking. I'm a halfling, man. I'm
I love
engaging
it.
in
You guys
merriment
are
right now.
awesome.
I mean, I'm ready to. I mean, Jesus, he's going to come to that door, and you're all dead.
Okay.
Now I'll just say who are you talking about?
Yeah.
What's the big fucking idiot that we beat?
I'll just say like Grogil's
Another
right
goblin?
there. What are you talking about?
He's coming.
And so as you come in, you sort of slam this on the door. You hear this poof, poof outside the door. And then
He walks away.
he takes off in the opposite direction.
Jesus.
Takes off. And suddenly the bar is quiet. Everybody in the whole bar turns and looks at you, Kerrhylon, like you were such an idiot. And you just threw this table up against the door. And people stop for a second. They look at you, the half-elves, the dwarves, this guy that Traego's talking to. And then they turn back and go back to their business as if nothing happened.
Wait, I'm going back out the alley. How far is he down the street?
You want to head back out?
Yeah.
Okay. Kerrhylon, you got to move the table.
I'll probably follow it.
The fucking table.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, obviously.
You move the table, and you come plowing through the door again, and you look down, and you don't see him. You don't see where he is at this point. The alleyway is cleared, so he has run out of the alleyway. Which direction he's gone, you don't know.
What about the little guy? Can I turn and see him?
He's gone as well.
Mother.
They probably thought it wasn't worth running into the inn to start a massive fight with anybody, so they took off.
Mother. Son of a. Can I go out? So the guy threw a dagger at me, right?
Yep, he did.
Can I go find it?
Yep. It's lying right on the ground there.
All right, I'll grab it.
It's a fairly cheap dagger, like any sort of standard dagger you'd find. So there's nothing too interesting about it.
All right, so I'm gonna grab it, bring it back in, and try to explain to everybody what just happened. Where the hell is Grogil? Motherfucker!
I'm
Grogil,
gonna
give
get up
me
from my
another Constitution
conversation
save.
and join them.
Another what?
Constitution save for Grogil.
Well, for Grogil, not you, Paul.
Oh,
12.
Okay. Grogil, you're still super hazy and foggy, but you're able now at least to speak. You're able to sit down, and your head is super. It's throbbing incredibly, but yeah, you're able at least to speak now and to talk to them.
He's not with us, right?
Yeah.
He's way with the owner, right?
I'm on
The
the
owner take him to
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah. The owner's still grabbing him, and the owner's still wondering what the heck is going on. Sorry about that. Yeah, Grogil, but you're coming to a little bit more, and the owner is starting to take you out the door now and bring you over to your room for the night.
I tell him stop.
So are the rooms not attached to the bar?
The rooms are in the next building over.
so
He stops. He says, "What? Oh, this one's coming around. This one's coming around." And throws you down on the ground, lays you out on the floor.
all right, so I'm back in the bar. I went back in the bar. Who's the closest person to me?
You go back into the bar, the table where the rest of them are.
Oh yeah, on my team.
Okay, so Traego and Niv are there.
Yeah, I'm walking back over there with my mug still in hand, obviously.
Bholen's there. Traego's coming back. Sort of you're all congregating around the table in the center of the place.
I walk up to the table and I go, God damn it, and stick the dagger right in the table.
Dagger sticks down on the table.
And I tell him what happened.
That's crazy.
Okay.
So the little guy had something to do with it. The little guy had something to do with Traego going down, and he had something to do with it, and I lost it.
And then you got attacked by the big guy that Grogil killed before.
Yeah, didn't kill him.
Okay.
So he's out there looking for Drago. He's out looking for revenge.
So maybe we should go find Traego.
Am I in the road, Matt, or
Yeah.
am I in the bar?
And at this point, I'm going to ask, 'cause I didn't notice anything with Grogil. I'm going to ask, where is Grogil at now?
Grogil,
No. I'm going to ask these guys. I'm going to ask these
you're going to
guys,
ask them. Okay, yeah.
I didn't notice any of that shit with Grogil.
No,
I'm asking, where's Grogil now?
I don't know where Grogil is.
He
Yep.
can't hold
He
his
left with
liquor.
the
and
owner took him.
The owner took him out.
Okay,
Is
I'm going to be a skeptic
barmaid?
here.
Is Mary the barmaid still there? Can we flag her down and ask where Grogil is? Where would Baradon have taken him?
Mary comes over and says, "Yes, can I help you? What would you like?"
Where did Baradon take our friend?
I think he took him to the rooms. He
Where's
put
that?
him down for the night. The next building over.
Okay, let's go.
And you guys walk
I'm going
over.
to follow, and I'm going to kind of look at him and be like, he drank too much and passed out? Like questioning,
This is
like,
great.
you're not...
This is great
not-
for us.
Yeah.
You know how much you can hold over his head now? 3 beers
Yeah,
and
good
out.
point.
Oh,
Oh, we could really we could really mess with him. Let's go.
As you guys
I'm
walk
getting out
out,
my pen and quill, and I'm gonna draw dicks on his fucking
Wait a
forehead.
minute.
Yeah, let's go.
Wait, before they do that, I'm going to grab one of them and say, did my wolf come in and try to get your attention?
Yeah, he was really thirsty, so I gave him
Okay,
some.
next time it happens, come find me, you freak.
I don't speak wolf. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know you don't, but don't pour beer on her.
She was thirsty. Did you see how?
Technically, he poured beer in her.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah, not thirsty anymore. Look at her now. I'll calm
Yeah.
her. Like,
And I'm
I'm listening to these people. I'm just laughing my ass off.
So you guys come walking out of the bar, and there you see Baradon standing above, looking at Grogil, who's laid out on the floor. Grogil is now speaking and talking, still a little bit out of it, but they're stuck here between in the alleyway between the buildings. And Baradon sees you guys come over, and he says, "I think something's wrong with your friend. It's time to put him down for the night," he says.
where did you put him? Where is he now?
He's on the cobblestone ground. He's laid out. Grogil, you're still slightly paralyzed in your body. The poison you got was some sort of nerve agent. It was kind of paralyzing your muscles. You guys have no idea you got poisoned though.
I am walking right up to him, and I am going to slap him in the face as hard as I can.
Grogil,
try and wake him up.
Take a point of damage, Grogil.
Just us.
You fucker!
I did it.
Oh.
Give him a point of damage there.
From a slap?
Oh, just as hard as I can.
Slap Grogil in the face, and he just not much of a response from him.
I'll do it again.
Am I gonna remember this?
One more time.
Give him another point of damage.
Matt, I'm gonna walk up to Grogil and I'm gonna try to assess whether or not I think that he's gonna be able to remember this in the morning.
Okay. Give me.
It's a nerve agent. I'm not drunk. It's a nerve agent.
Yeah, we don't know that though. We have no idea. We think you're just hammered. I'm like, okay, can I fuck with him when he's not gonna throw me into a fucking river?
I'm gonna wave over to Traego. Like, draw the.
Give me
right.
Traego. Give me a medicine check. Give me a medicine check.
Are we a little off track here?
Yeah, this is
Natural
great.
20.
Dungeons and Dragons, you can't get
What's
off
my
track.
medicine?
While they're doing this, I want to go track down the little guy. I'm running out there to find the little guy through a freaking dagger.
So Traego.
But it's a -1. I have a -1 medicine, but it's a natural 20.
Okay, so Traego, you see Bholen come over and smack Grogil in the face twice, and there's no reaction. And you come close and you bend down next to him, and you look into his eyes, and you see that his pupils are strangely dilated. And from I'll give you that from that 20 roll,
Right.
you notice that something is up. That this is not alcohol. You know immediately that he's been poisoned with something. This is not normal.
Okay.
You see it in his eyes.
Do I know that, like, do I sense that it's, like, urgent? Or is it like, okay, somebody fucked with him, he needs to... Or is it like poison, like, we need to save his life?
I mean, you see that he's slowly getting better, very slowly, but you can tell it's not getting worse.
Okay.
So I would say you're not too worried. Given that role, I'll say that you recognize this condition, that it's he's been screwed with by somebody who's tried to sort of knock him out or just impair him for a while.
Okay, he's been roofied.
His life is not in damage.
Okay, so
Bholen smacks him again for another point of damage.
I'm gonna turn to him.
Smack me again.
Turn to Bholen and him, and I'm gonna be like, all right. First of all, I'm pretty sure he's been poisoned.
And I'm not paying any attention to this. When these guys are doing this, I'm talking with Kerrhylon about. And you said that little guy was Graywater.
No, the little guy wasn't. No, I tell him little guy wasn't Graywater, but he knows Graywater.
He knows Graywater. Did he say how or who?
No, because I got attacked by the big guy before I could get anything out of him.
Am I going to remember this, Matt?
What big guy?
Yeah, you will.
You guys are fucked.
Oh, you should have said that, Matt.
From earlier.
Oh shit.
Now's your chance, guys. Be on Grogil.
Okay.
The guy who was taking money during the fight looks just like him. And
So do you think the big guy is Graywater?
No, he doesn't think that. The gray guy, I don't know. The big guy, I don't know where he came from. I don't know where he came from, but you could hear him coming a mile away.
That's a Gorgle.
Well, yeah, dude.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm
Lord.
talking with Kerrhylon, trying to figure out what happened outside.
I need to find this little guy and kick his ass. Find out what he knows.
Do we know where he went?
Well, he was behind me, and the big guy ran past the bar. I guess he didn't see me go in the bar. The little guy was behind him, threw a dagger at me, so he must be down the alleyway. So I think if I could track him with this dagger, Thor might be able to pick up a scent.
Let me get a roll here.
Oh. If we
20.
find that little guy,
Natural 20. Are
we gonna have to deal with the big guy?
He's gone.
The little guy, I just rolled a natural 20 for him. He slipped away in the shadows. Gorlag and the guy, they're gone. You may be able to pick up a scent, but they took off.
What about the big guy? I wouldn't mind taking his sorry ass down.
I mean, you can try to track him if you want.
I do.
Okay. Go ahead and are you gonna track him or are you gonna have Soro do it? You're gonna try it.
I'm gonna send out. Well, I have to go with her, but I'm gonna send her forward.
Okay.
So if we find the big guy, do you think we'll find the little guy?
Very possibly.
Well, it's the only lead we have so far.
I mean, I'm not gonna.
Is Baradon standing there listening to all of this?
Yeah, he's watching you guys smack Grogil around. And
Okay.
He's like,
Yeah.
So it's time to put this guy in bed, he says.
Put him
So
on the ground. I don't care about him.
So go ahead, Kerrhylon. Give me an investigation check. 16. Okay. You're able to pick up something of a track. It leads out around the buildings, heading out back towards in the direction of Uppergate Town. So following this road as it leads out of. I mean, there's really no other place to go other than Uppergate Town. So you can tell that he took off on the road in that direction.
Well, I want to track him. I don't want to accost him. I don't want to approach him. I just want to kind of follow him around, see where he goes.
Okay. Go ahead and.
But before I do that, I'm telling these guys.
Do you want to try and sort of stealth behind him then?
Yeah, but before I do it, I want to make sure that somebody else in this group knows what the hell's going on.
All right, go ahead. Yeah, talk to these guys.
I'm gonna tell Baradon after talking with Kerrhylon. I'm just gonna tell Baradon that we'll take care of our friend. You've got business to attend to.
Can we lift him?
All right, that's better for me anyway, he says. All right, I'm back into the kitchen now. Got to close up for the night, he says. He walks back through the door, heads back into the kitchen. Baradon leaves you guys with Grogil on the floor. Grogil, give me one more Constitution check here.
15.
Save 15. Okay, so you now have control of your limbs again. This poison is a fairly fast acting poison. It was a rather weak poison, which is probably why you didn't sense or perceive it when you're drinking your ales. So the poison is moving out of your system rather quickly now, and you're able to move your limbs again. You're not really stable on your feet though, so you can't quite walk, but you can lift your arms at least.
Okay.
Okay.
Can he
I
talk?
talk?
Yeah, you can talk. Yep.
I said, Mary, bring me Mary. The barkeep.
Oh.
I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna look at.
Are you
Bholen
okay?
and like,
Are you okay?
I'm still holding my ale glass, and I'll just say you can have mine if you want more ale.
No.
I'm gonna
Just
look at
hand him my
Grogil
ale
and be like,
glass.
"Oh, you looking to empty your coin purse a little bit here tonight?"
No, I want Mary. Get it, Mary.
So
Okay,
Grogil's sitting up. He can hardly move, but he says, "Bring me Mary."
Yeah.
Okay. I'll walk back and yell for her from the door.
And Mary's busy serving drinks. She comes over to you and says, "Yeah, can I help you, sir?"
We need our friend here is asking for you. I think you might want to follow us out here and
Run!
You see her eyes sort of get large, and she pauses and says, what's the
problem?
purpose of this?
I don't care. He
Purpose
wants
of
us to
this?
see you.
Sir, with all due respect, I have a lot of work to do here.
I'll cast guidance.
Boom.
Cast
Okay,
guidance.
go ahead.
Follow me.
What is it a wisdom save?
Oh no, never mind. Is she a willing creature? If I touch her on the shoulder, is she willing?
She's not willing, no.
It's not, so I can't cast that. Never mind, I can't cast that. So I guess I'll just grab her. I'll grab her by the arm and just I'll start pulling her.
So you start pulling her, you grab her by the arm. Give me a strength check. We'll make this a contest. Oh, Mary's weak. Oh no.
Strength 16.
Okay, you grab her arm, you pull her, you start dragging her out of the door, and she's sort of saying, wait, what is it you need? What is it you need? As you're dragging her out
Come on,
and bringing her
come
outside.
on.
All right. Kerrhylon, did you want to take off and while this is happening, did you want to do anything?
Well, I want to make sure like Niv or somebody or one of you guys knows what's I'm doing.
Mike's just scored
Yeah.
20 to 20, 23 to 20.
Okay.
Okay, good.
So Niv, you talk to.
Yeah, I
Kerrhylon.
talked to him, so I'll tell.
Yeah.
While Bholen goes back to get Mary, I'll tell Traego. Just relay the story, kind of.
So I'm gonna go,
dishwasher style here.
I'm gonna see if I can't track him down.
Okay.
Take the wolf, and I'm gonna tell you that I'm sending the wolf back. When the wolf comes back, follow the wolf.
Follow the wolf.
Get her drunk.
So Kerrhylon turns and takes off to start tracking and following the road, heading towards Upper Gate Town. And Bholen, suddenly the rest of you see the door slam open, and Bholen is dragging Mary, the server, and she is screaming the whole way as you drag her out to Grogil.
I'm gonna just drag her out and just throw her up at Grogil's feet.
No. I say restrain her. So who's left? Chad and Tim?
Bholen, Traego, Niv.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so everybody but Paul. All right.
Yeah.
I say restrain her. Hold her.
And I'm gonna look at him and are you sure?
You want me to restrain a barmaid?
Yeah, hold her arms.
Sir, let me go, please. Sir, please let me go. Please let me go, sir. He says. She's pleading.
I'm not sure she's in any flight risk.
Hold on here.
Are you afraid of her, Grogil?
I say again, I say restrain her.
I'll just hold her arm. I'll say, she's not going anywhere. Ask what you want to ask.
Yeah, you've got her. You've got her held.
I say, who is the little man?
The little man. I don't know much about him. His name is Zanu. She says.
Zanu or Zamanu?
Zanu.
Zanu.
I say, where's
Does she even know
Graywater?
which little man we're talking about?
She does.
I don't know, sir. Sir, please, I'm just a poor barmaid. He offered me gold. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. He offered me gold.
One more time. Where's Graywater?
I don't know who Graywater is, she says. I don't know Graywater. Zanu came to me. He offered me gold if I would slip poison into your drink. He offered me 30 gold pieces if I would put poison into your ales and give you the ales.
Who?
Oh,
Only
I don't know anything
all
about
of our
it.
ales?
Hold on. No, just mine. Hold on. I take my dagger out and I put it through her eye.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You can hardly move.
Yeah.
Give me. You can't actually do that yet. You don't have your mobility left.
Okay, so I
can
pull my
hardly
dagger.
move.
I pull my dagger out. I throw it to Chad and I say, "Put it through her eye."
Oh, you pull it out and kind of drop it over to Traego.
Drops it. Just drops it.
And you say, put it in her eye?
Yep.
I'm going to turn to him and say, well, I have a little bit of experience with this. I'll get the answers out of her that we need. And I'll pull my own dagger out, and I'll motion to Bholen
Oh, jeez.
to drag
That's
her
right.
behind. Yeah, we're getting fucking dark here.
It's like a ritual
dark.
offering here. You guys
Yeah.
are gonna sacrifice.
I'm gonna motion to Bholen to drag her out to behind the barns, and I'm just gonna kind of give him a serious look, like, do it. But I'm gonna stay here. Why? Are you gonna drag
Okay.
her out? Okay.
I'll go. Go this
And-
way? You want me to go behind this
Well-
building here?
Yeah, behind, like in an alleyway or something. Like, take her to where no one's gonna hear us. Are you okay with that? Okay. And then I'm gonna message him. I'm gonna stay back so she doesn't hear me. I'm gonna message him and say, this is just for show.
Okay.
But we're
I'm
gonna
gonna sell it. I'm gonna sell it
Yeah.
super hard.
Nice.
I'm
Nice.
gonna-
So
on, you
Mary is terrified. Actually, give me a deception check there, Bholen, with advantage. With advantage.
That's my third 19.
Oh, so she
Deception?
totally buys it.
17 actually. I have a -2 deception.
Yeah. So she so regardless, she totally buys it, and she is terrified. I mean, she thinks you're dragging her off to take her around the alley and execute her. So she is terrified.
Once we get around the corner, I'll just whisper, "Don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt you. This is all for show."
She's panting. Okay,
Just
sir.
relax.
Sir,
Try to
trust
relax.
You, trust you. There's a little bit of Stockholm syndrome now. She's like, yes, sir. I'll do anything you want, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Really?
Oh man.
Okay.
I'll,
So
never mind.
once Tim has her, Bones got her kind of away, I'm gonna kind of just look at Niv and like say, make sure Grogil is okay. Let us know if anything, happens. And I'm gonna kind of just saunter nice and slow to where Bholen took Mary, menacingly. As menacing as a 37-inch fucking halfling can walk. But I'm gonna have my dagger in my hand, and I'm just gonna kind of walk up to him, and I'll. So are we at like a dead end? Or is there?
You come around the corner. There's definitely a way to get out. I mean, the buildings don't lead to any dead ends here.
All right. I'm gonna. I have some rope on me. I'm gonna tie her hands behind her back first,
What kind of party are we having?
Jeez.
and then I'm gonna.
Please don't hurt me, sir. Please don't hurt me, sir. Please don't hurt me. She says.
Well, if everything goes right and you talk, there will be no need for you to be hurt. And then I'm gonna look up at Bholen and say, "You can leave us now." and I'm gonna kind of give him a look.
Like you can leave us now,
Like,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Or like
Like a knowing look, like, all right, just give me a minute here with her. I'm gonna scare the shit out of her.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
So
I'll walk around back to Grogil.
So Bholen takes off. Bholen heads back over to Grogil, who's now sort of recovering even more. You can almost get up on your knees now, Grogil. The poison is moving.
While these guys were carrying or pulling her back into the alley, I was just squatting there, kind of interrogating Grogil, asking why he thinks she poisoned him.
She brought the beer. She already admitted to it. She just admitted to it.
All the rest of us had beer too. Why just
no?
you?
Because I was in the corner with the short man.
Why were you in voice? I'm not here.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So did she not want you talking to the short man?
That my intelligence isn't high enough to probably clean that.
Grogil's
So what did you say to the short man?
The short man wanted me to murder someone for gold.
Just out of the blue? Random
Yes.
little bird man asked you to murder somebody?
bathroom break.
Yeah, he asked me to murder him.
Him?
Zandu, right? Zanu.
Zanu.
I was supposed to murder the rival bookie, but the name he gave me turned out that it was his name.
So Zandu is a bookie also.
Apparently.
You killed the other bookie.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why they wanted me to kill. He wanted me to kill a rival bookie, but I think, and this is where I'm probably getting a little carried away with my intelligence. I think that he wanted me gone, which is why he poisoned me, or he wanted to trap me, because he was going to show me where Graywater was, and then I turned back into the bar, which is a good thing I did, apparently.
Way to go, Grogil. You just screwed up that whole plan. That was awesome.
I'm not there, and I'm confused.
Yeah, I'm there and I'm confused.
Well, I'm Grogil.
So Bholen walks back to Grogil and joins this conversation. Traego, you're now left there with Mary. Kerrhylon, you've taken off and you're trying to track down this large Gorgon.
By the way, a 9-foot monstrosity. How hard could it be to track him?
Not too hard. We'll run over to Kerrhylon for a second. Kerrhylon, go ahead and give me a investigation check.
Someone in there?
I got an 11.
Got an 11. Okay. You still have a faint trail. Not very much, but it heads out. Definitely heads through the square that separates Lower Gate Town and Upper Gate Town, and he is heading into Upper Gate Town for sure.
What about
heading
Sora?
in that direction? Sorry.
What about Sora?
Sora, go ahead and give her a same. Give her an investigation +5.
25.
25. Sora grabs a scent and she takes off,
All right.
flying out. Yeah. And she ends up coming through the center square, which is where the gate is that leads out of the city that separates the Lower Gate Town, Upper Gate Town. And she ends up coming to a large sort of warehouse-type building and stops outside of there. And she's sniffing around, and then she kind of runs back to you as if she's picked up a scent there.
All right, so I come up to her, and I'm kneeling down next to her, kind of, giving her good job. And we can see it's a warehouse, you said?
Yep, it's a sort of warehouse type building. Yeah, it's pretty plain. It's a large building. It's got these large, massive bay doors that are all closed and shut up. Yeah.
So can I deduce that I assume that he's inside the warehouse?
You can tell at least the tracking led up to that direction. So you don't know if he's in there or not, but he's around there somewhere, perhaps. Yeah.
All right. So I'm laughing as I think about this. I'm going to kind of hide in the shadows, watch the building, and I'm going to send Sora back to these freaks.
And Bholen's going to give her some more beer.
I'm not sending her to Bholen.
So let's run back over to Traego, who's now sitting there with Mary, the barmaid, around the
Okay.
corner. Go ahead, Traego.
So I have Mary down, tied up, hands behind or whatever, and I'm gonna look into her eyes. I have my dagger sitting there, being intimidating, and I'm gonna ask.
Please don't hurt me.
I'm gonna ask her what she's loyal to. Where do your loyalties lie?
To my daughter, she says. My daughter, she says.
What's your daughter's name?
Sherston.
Cheston?
Sherston.
Sherston?
Chesty?
Is it Chesty LaRue? I'm gonna
It
ask
doesn't
her.
matter what name I come up with. You perverts will turn into something disgusting.
Sorry. I'm gonna ask
Sherston.
her.
Her name's
how
Sherston.
how old is your daughter?
She's 4 years old, sir.
4 years old. And I suppose having a 4-year-old child is rather expensive, isn't it?
Yes, sir. That's why I needed the gold. That's why I took the gold, sir. I'm sorry. If you want the gold back, you can have it. I'm sorry.
Okay, and do I believe her? Is she believable or?
Give me an insight check. With advantage, because she's all tied
Okay.
up and
Oh, thank you. Whew.
easy to read.
Really poor first roll. That's a 16. Insight?
Yep.
Do 15.
Okay. So, I mean, yeah, she seems fairly believable here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I believe her. I'm going to look at it. She's like, look, I believe you. You can keep the money.
Okay.
But I want you to remember me. And if you hear anything, if you come across any knowledge, I want you to help me out next time.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So, along with the loyalty to your daughter, who are you going to be loyal to?
To you, sir.
All right. I'm going to untie Mary, and I'm going to let her go. And I'm going to pull out a gold piece, and I'm going to say, I'm sorry this happened. We just needed to make sure. But you would do well to not speak of this anymore.
She says, and as she starts to run away, and she stops, and she turns around and she says, "Sir, I did hear a discussion between him and another." She says,
Him as in the little man?
"Yes, Zanu. He came in and he was speaking to the other man in the corner about." They were speaking about something about the Vidarak Legion and something about I don't know. That's all I heard was the name, the Vidarak Legion. I don't know what they were talking about, sir, but that's what I heard.
Okay. I'm gonna flip her another gold coin.
Yes, sir. Thank you. She
And
pockets
say,
it.
Yeah. Thank you for the information. I'll be seeing you.
Yes, sir. And she takes off and runs away as fast as she can, heading back around the corner and heading out.
Yeah. Okay, and then I'm gonna make my way over to the rest of the group here, back to where we started, to where Niv is and everything. I got an asset, boy. I'm building an empire.
So Traego comes walking back, and he's alone at this point. You don't see the woman Mary with him anymore.
What happened?
It's like, well, she didn't know a whole lot.
What happened, if you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, okay, Meta, how tall is Mary? Normal,
Mary, maybe 5'6", not very tall.
And I'm 3 feet tall. I'm like, I look at Bholen, I'm like, she's 2 feet taller than me. What do you think happened?
Hey,
No.
weirder things have happened, boy. I don't know.
I'll just look at him and says, I got a little information that might prove fruitful. And then I notice who's all here now. Scored again.
Vikings take the lead. 26.
So
Should just be
everyone's there. Everyone is around, sitting around. Yeah.
Except for
Kerrhylon's not.
Paul. Kerrhylon's not there, and
Oh yeah, that's right. Kerrhylon took off with Sorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
so I'm gonna look at Bholen and Niv and kind of like gesture to Grogil, who I'm assuming is still kind of incapacitated, laying on the ground.
Yeah,
I'm
Grogil's now. He's sitting up.
I'm
He's on his
poking
knees
Groggle's
now.
legs with
He's
my
actually
dagger
getting
to
some
see
strength
if his
back.
legs work.
Okay, I'm gonna be like, so he's gonna be all right.
Yeah, I mean,
Looking
from
at
your medicine check, I mean,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
have a sense that he's
Yeah.
gonna make it. give him a few more hours, maybe a good night's sleep, and he'll be pretty much back to normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and then I'm just gonna ask where Kerrhylon went. Like,
I'll
where
just
did he
say
go
that
to again?
He and Sora are tracking that big fucker
Okay.
who apparently is back now and friends with the little man.
All right. My only other question is, we don't know this town at all. I don't feel comfortable staying in this inn, because if what Kerrhylon told us is true and that orc is back, he knows where we're staying. We don't want to stay here anymore.
Does he though?
He
You
knows
were
where
just
we
in the
were.
bar. Right, but the bar is separate from the inn. He knows we were
We
at the
don't have any rooms yet, do we? We haven't gotten any rooms.
You
just
have
been
rooms
drinking.
that are ready for you when you want them. Yeah.
Yeah, they were on
I
the
would-
house.
I would
You don't-
say because we got the rooms from Baradon,
Mhm.
and we don't know where Baradon's allegiances lie. He very well could have tipped off this huge orc guy
Right.
and the little guy that were there.
Yeah.
I would agree with you, Niv, or Traego,
You know-
that we should not stay here.
Now that these two are back, I try to explain to them what Grogil told me about the little man tried to get Grogil to murder himself, but then there was poison involved, and that's where Mary came in. And somehow there's another bookie who also
It's
wanted to be
confusing.
murdered.
Okay, so
I
I look at
understand
Niv, I'm like,
completely.
okay. They wanted
So-
Grogil to kill himself?
The little man gave
No,
me.
I'm.
That's
gotta
that's
go
what
Dan.
that's what
Gotta go through Dan.
That's what Grogil said. He said the little guy wanted Grogil to kill him, and so
And
he
then
paid him.
poison
Oh,
him?
he
They got
wanted
poisoned.
Grogil to kill the little guy.
Can I
Oh.
re-explain?
But then,
No, you can't,
Grogil.
We are RPing, motherfucker.
Yes,
This
please.
is a game of telephone.
Sorry. What did I miss? I just got to notice that somebody fraudulently charged something on my credit card, so I had to call and cancel my credit
Oh.
card.
oh,
Shit.
sweet.
Oh man.
It sounds like
they
a fun
buy.
Sunday.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? What did I miss?
Yeah,
Nothing that you're
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
you're fine. You're fine. Yeah. So what do you guys
All right,
want to do here? It's about
We're-
11:30 at night now.
So Grogil, explain to us what. The hell
Oh yeah, that's right.
happened.
Eric is
Can you-
here. I forgot. Eric is with us.
Okay.
So yeah.
So little man pulls me into the corner, buys me beer, says that there is a rival bookie that he wants dead, similar to how I killed the earlier bookie, and that's why he wanted my services.
Whoa!
Wait,
You
you
killed
killed
the
the bookie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
back on the beach.
And then I'm looking at him.
Did you
what
take
the
all
fuck
our
did you
money?
do with the money?
The bookie we gave a bunch of money to.
The money's in the
Where is
ocean.
the
I threw it in the ocean.
What ocean?
Insight check.
Yeah,
There's
right.
no
like-
ocean around here.
Yeah, we were, or the river. I'm sorry, the river.
Give me a deception contest versus an insight from Bholen. Bholen, roll insight and give me a deception, Grogil.
Natural 20.
Fuck off.
What do
Swear
you
to
got
God.
here? Come on, Grogil.
Under 15.
Okay, so Bholen, you know he's just full of it.
Come on, buddy. We all know that you took that money, and
Yeah,
that's why you
I
killed
admit I have the money.
Okay.
What you gonna do
how
about
much,
it?
How much is there?
199 platinum, or 99 platinum pieces.
And I look at Tim or Bholen and Niv, and I'm like, can he count that high?
Yeah, I was wondering.
Does he
the
know
same
that's a
thing.
number?
There could be 4 platinum in there. He wouldn't know the difference.
All right, I'm gonna use Matt. I'm gonna use my mage hand,
Okay.
but I have mage hand legerdemain. I can make it invisible, and I can pickpocket with it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Okay.
So I'm gonna see if I can pickpocket, like try to find,
You better succeed.
try to find.
No.
Like I'm just gonna pat him down.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. Go ahead and roll me your stealth there. Or no, sorry, your Sleight of hand, actually.
Spaghetti-o.
Sleight of hand. Sleight of hand.
Like, it's the second worst possible roll I could have.
Is it a
Because
2?
at least if I roll a 1, I can re-roll. I rolled a 3,
no.
but I have
3.
8, 11.
Okay, yeah, so Grogil, you immediately feel this this force against your body, and you sense that something is going on. You are, of course, you're on your knees. You haven't quite stood up yet, so you're not able to do much about it. But you feel that something's happening, and you immediately get the sense that something fishy is happening here on you.
But you don't know who's doing it.
No.
I'll just murder all y'all. Okay. I mean, I can't do anything, so.
Yeah, so I'm gonna look at him and I'm like, we can deal with this later. Apparently, we are quite wealthy right now, but we need to get out of the area in case that orc comes back because Grogil's not really in the fighting mood right now.
And at this point,
you guys, Kerrhylon is.
Yeah.
And
we have no idea where Kerrhylon is.
At this point, Sora comes running back to you guys, panting and making all sorts of noise once again.
Okay. So I didn't hear that conversation, so I'm like, okay, what's going on, dog? Or wolf, or whatever the hell you are.
Wolf!
What's going on, dog? And then I
Go to bed now, dog.
I tell these two that Kerrhylon told me to follow the wolf if she comes back without him.
Okay, let's go.
Can I get into the inn, Matt? Do you think I can make it into
so
the rooms?
Grogil, now you're able to get up onto your feet now and walk again. So you're able to move around, Grogil. You're not fast, you're not in fighting condition, but
I'm going to the room and trying to go to sleep.
Okay, so Grogil takes off, and you're able to go back into the inn, and the owner of the inn is able to show you a room where you can come and take some sleep, and Grogil disappears. The rest of you now follow the wolf.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I want to look at Niv and Bholen. I'm like, do one of us need to be with him?
He's fine.
He's too dumb. He's too dumb to do anything suspicious.
No, I'm wondering if someone's going to attack him and fuck him up and steal our money.
Yeah, well,
he's
If
fine.
he dies, sweet. If he doesn't die, then we at least can get our money back.
Just make sure he's not like leaving the money lying around.
Right. I'm going to be like, all right, yeah, it's kind of a win-win situation. All right, let's go. And I'm ready to go.
So you guys take off, and you end up joining up eventually with Kerrhylon. And let's go ahead and take a 5-minute break there.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, cool.
All right, well let's jump back into it now. You guys just took off. Grogil went and got a room, and he's fast asleep now, trying to recover from this poison that he had just ingested with his multiple ales. The rest of you took off, heading towards the square that separates Lower Gate Town from Upper Gate Town, and you come eventually running, following Sora as she leads out towards the square, and there you meet up with Kerrhylon.
Yeah.
What's going on? We followed your dog just like you asked.
Dog, it's a wolf! Free!
A wolf. Wolf.
And she's a good pupper.
Oh,
And she's inebriated.
Touch my wolf. Fucking touch my wolf. Alright, so here's the deal. This big, huge guy that Grogil was supposed to fight, who he got lucky with, honestly, I think he's in this warehouse, and I think he may be able to give us some information around who the little guy was that poisoned Grogil and what the fuck is going on.
Do you know where he is?
I think he's inside the warehouse.
Did you see anybody else go in the warehouse?
Not that I know of.
Okay. We're not going to just barge in there.
Do we know if
waving
anyone
our
else
morning stars around.
is in the warehouse?
What's the warehouse? Fuck you, Grogil. No, what's the warehouse look like? Is it like well kept? Is it kind of run down?
Everything in Lower and Upper Gate Town is
it's
pretty worn down. Yeah, run down.
Okay.
Are there any windows? just a door?
There's these large bay doors in front, and it doesn't look like there's any windows. It's all sealed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sort of old brick that's
Go
kind
ahead.
of crumbling and falling to pieces.
Traego, do you want to like scout around the building and see if there's any
Yeah.
trap doors or?
Yeah, that's.
like a
I
back
want to
door?
make sure. Like, I want to check. I want to go around and check for any exits. If it's just the one exit, or if there's multiple exits that we need to cover, I want to kind of scout around and figure out what I can about the building.
So you want to kind of walk around the building and,
Yeah.
and just kind of check out what's around the building and see what you can see there.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Fucking natural 1, but I'm lucky, so I get to re-roll it. God
What
damn.
is lucky?
Oh,
You have like a.
fuck! I got one of my feet is lucky. I can re-roll a natural 1 on skill, save, and whatever.
Oh, sweet.
Jeez,
And then you rolled a.
like shit. Investigation.
So Traego takes a
7.
lap. Traego takes a lap around the building and comes back and he's like, I don't know, guys.
Okay,
It's a brick
alright,
building.
Matt, I should at least be able to discern. It's just got the one door, right?
From that roll, you can see that there's 3 bay doors in the front of the building. And as you walked around, I mean, even with that bad of a roll, you would still notice that there is behind the building, there's something of a loading dock, and there's a cart sitting there behind the loading dock. Other than that, you don't notice anything.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
Damn,
send
I'm
a.
supposed to be good at this shit.
Can she smell that? Where does the scent take her that she picked up?
So the scent takes her to the center of the 3 bay doors, and
There's a
it kind of
loading
loses the scent there.
Right.
So
Yeah,
is
so
there
let's say
any
there's-
like writing or anything about what this warehouse is? Like, is it a company or is it just a plain building?
It's just a plain, dilapidated brick building. There's no writing. There's nothing there at all.
So it's just the 4 of us and Sora, correct?
Yeah.
And
Grogil's
we're at
sleeping.
probably about midnight?
Yeah, you're pushing on to midnight, maybe even a little after midnight.
All right. So I'm going to look at... I don't feel 100% comfortable assaulting a big warehouse without our main fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we just watch it? Like post it for the night?
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking at Paul over here, and I'm gonna like, are you good for the rest of the night? Because I feel like me and you are probably the 2. You cover one entrance, I'll cover the other.
That works for me.
Okay.
And meanwhile, Grogil,
Yeah.
he's snoring away.
Can we send a message to Grogil to have him? See
I
if he
could.
wants to come. Because
You're a bit too far away now at this point.
Oh yeah, I can't message him because I have to be like within 120 feet.
Yeah, you're way too far away at this
So
point.
yeah, I'm too far to message. I can't just like send it out.
Hmm.
Do you 2 want to go
Could-
back?
Could you sneak in? Maybe sneak in one of the doors and scout, and take a gander.
I could. How about this? You said there's windows around it.
Yeah,
No, there are no windows.
There are no windows.
There's just the three bay doors in the front, and then there's
Okay.
the loading dock in the back with the door there.
We could
Alright.
set the cart on fire, and just roll it in there as a distraction.
That's a good point.
burn down this fucking town.
God damn, dude. All right.
But
I
if
never
we-
even thought of that.
The little man said he knows Graywater. The big guy knows the little man. So if this is the hideout, we don't want to just burn it down. We're supposed to get information, correct?
Here's what I'm thinking. I can stake it out. Sora and I can stay here, keep an eye on the building, while Grogil kind of gets his shit together, and we can come back and in the morning we can kind of.
Okay.
I'm good with that. I could use
I'm good with
I
that.
could use a few hours to recover some of
Because
my spells.
what are we actually supposed to be doing for this? For
Basically,
Maalethon?
we're just
I know we
trying
had
to
to
find
find
Graywater and get information.
and get
out of him
information.
about-
He's the contact for the knot.
Yeah.
right, but are we supposed to bring him back, or are we just supposed to get info from him?
I don't remember.
I think we're supposed to bring him back.
exactly. I think they want us to bring him back, right, Matt?
It was a few weeks ago, so I can refresh you guys. Maalethon was asking you guys to make contact to find out what happened with Graywater and get information about what the Knot is planning.
Okay.
Maalethon knows that the Knot has something that they're planning, but he doesn't know what. And Graywater is his only contact for the Knot, for the insider information. So you're trying to find Graywater, get information, and find out, if you can, what the Knot has planned.
So my theory is that the big guy knows where we can at least find the little guy who can tell us where we can find Graywater.
I agree with that.
I think he is Graywater.
Think the little guy is Graywater? The other bookie that drugged you?
I don't know.
So, 2 options. I can go scout out and see what the deal is, or should we just post watch? Or we could do both. I'll try to figure out what I can find out and then get a little bit more intel so we know what's happening in the morning.
I think we should do both.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna sneak to the.
I'm while we're standing here. Can I use my disguise kit and just put on a fake nose and like a unibrow and stuff and just walk up to the fucking door?
Hi, Helena.
Yeah, Helena's going to bed. You want to put on a disguise kit and just walk right up to the bay door?
Yeah.
Are you asking us too? Because I'm gonna say that's not a good idea.
No, I'm asking
In certain
Matt.
circumstances,
I'm asking
yeah.
Matt.
You can absolutely do that if you want. I'm not going to prevent you.
That's what I'm going to do, because I've still got that cup from the bar. I've been carrying that the whole time. So I'm just going to put on a disguise and just stumble up to the door, any door on this.
All right. Do you want to die? This is how you die.
When you're putting your disguise on, I'm going to be like, you make sure that you don't actually pose any threat. Just make a ruckus. Make noise. And I'm going to sneak around to the back. To the warehouse.
Okay, so Traego comes around to the back of the warehouse, and Niv, you start walking up like putting on your sort of scene. And what are you gonna do, Niv, when you get to the bay doors?
I'm just gonna start pounding on it. Just pounding on it. Be like, my cup is empty.
Hold on.
I need more ale. And just start beating on the door like with the cup.
All right.
Just
I want
stumbling
you
around.
On others, the door opens. The door opens like this. I'm hiding, so they can't see me. When he knocks on the door, I want to be there in case he gets fucked up.
So Niv, you're pounding on the door. You're pounding on the door, and as Traego, as you take off around the side of the building, you hear this sort of like resonating through the building, and there's no response. Nobody's opening the door for you, Niv. There's nothing happening.
I'm just
Traego, you
start screaming, Matilda, I want some more beer. Let me in.
Did you just say Matilda?
Love it.
Did you just say Matilda?
Yeah.
no response. It's absolutely silent as Traego as you come around the side. So Niv is just making a fool of himself in the middle of the square.
Matilda sounds like a safe word.
Yeah, it does. I was thinking that's going to be our...
It's actually one of the
Matilda.
schools is putting on Matilda play signs all over town. So
Omaha, Matilda, Pineapple.
Paul's like, been there, done that.
So I'm going around to the backside, like the cargo area, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna
you
just
come around the
very
side of the
gently-
building, and there's a loading dock, and
Yep.
then there's this cart there. The cart is covered with a dark tarp, sitting next to the loading dock, and there's one door on the loading dock leading into the warehouse.
All right. First off, I want to look under the tarp and see what is in the cart.
You come up to the cart, and you lift the tarp slowly, and you see underneath the tarp, connected to the cart, is 4 different chains, and each of the chains has a manacle for connecting to hands and feet. And that's all it is. It's just chains
Trafficking.
attached to the cart with the tarp over the top.
And that's just me like pulling up the tarp a little bit.
Yeah, you pull it up and you can see underneath the tarp. You can see there's chains. That's what you can see.
Oh, fuck. Shit. All right.
Well, you better tell us.
I'm gonna message back to Bholen. Wait, no, I have to see him. Shit. I think I have to see him. Well, with any creature within range, cast a spell through solid objects if you're familiar with the target, and know that it's beyond the barrier.
That should work.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I'm
okay.
right there.
All right.
I'm just
So
outside.
I'm gonna message back to Bholen and point at him and be like, "They have something chained up in here. It seems like it's alive, but I'm not going to investigate
Wait,
further."
were the chains attached to something, or
No, sorry.
attached
It's
to manacles?
just chains and manacles. There's
Just the
actually
chains.
nothing attached to it. It's just an empty
Oh,
cart with
okay.
chains and manacles.
All
yeah.
right.
It's Gorgol. They chain him up.
Okay. So I'm gonna message back to him. It looks like they're preparing to transfer a living creature
Put that in the
out
garbage.
of the warehouse. And then you can message back. Like, I don't. Does he know that he can message back? He can talk back to me.
I would probably. I would
yeah,
think
yeah.
I would know.
Yeah,
that I could do that.
you're a mage.
Sure. You'd know that, yeah.
So then I'm just gonna wait a kind of second and see if you say anything back to me.
Is Niv still? Are you still pounding the door, drunkenish?
I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
hear you, Elena.
I'm just walking along up front. I start singing a song now.
And can I hear Niv?
Yeah, you can
Process-
hear Niv.
I can still
Everybody
hear
can hear Niv.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is this is 121 action. Is this a? Okay, so it's a cantrip. Message is a cantrip. Can I just keep casting it over and over?
Yeah, as much as you
Okay.
want. Yeah, yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna message Niv then and be like, I can still hear you. Has anybody come to the door yet?
While he's doing that, I'm going to cast Thaumaturgy on Niv, so his voice amplifies by times 10.
So Niv's singing
Oh.
song suddenly turns into like a rock concert and just boom, filling up this square. And you look and suddenly now the people in the bars and the inns and the establishments around here who are up late drinking start to sort of stumble out into the square, and there's suddenly now a rather large sized crowd that's staring at Niv. As he's sitting there dancing and singing and sort of moving, flailing his arms around.
How far is he from the door now?
How far is he from the door?
Yes,
He's right next to the door.
he's right next to. Okay, so I'm gonna test the door and see if it opens.
It's shut. It's latched shut. You can't open it.
Can't open it. Okay.
You can give me a strength check if you want to try to pull it open.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
20.
20. Whoa. So you pull the door and it cracks a little bit, and just moves maybe 6 inches or so, and you can see that there's just a little bit of light inside of the room. The door, it moved just enough that you could see in it, not enough to get through, but enough to see through.
Can I hear anything coming from inside over the whatever the hell you're doing there?
With the fucking boombox of Niv's voice. Let me in, Matilda!
All you hear is the rock concert of Niv.
Okay.
You can't
So-
hear anything over that, no.
Because I feel a little bit more confident that shit is being distracting, I'm going to test the door, the warehouse door that I'm at.
Okay, you come to the door, and the door's locked.
Okay. I'm going to use my thieves kit
Okay.
and try to pick the lock.
Yes, and you have expertise in that, so you have advantage on it, right? Yeah.
Well, so expertise I thought was just I get the extra. Where is it? Double proficiency bonus for sleight of hand and stealth.
Mm-hmm.
So I get, instead of 6 plus 6, I get plus 8.
I think thieves tools, if you have proficiency in those, will give you advantage on your roll.
I don't think I have proficiency in those. I just have the Hold on here.
If you look down on your proficiencies, does it have thieves? Does it have thieves tools?
Okay, hold on. Proficiency in languages, light armor, simple weapons. Yes, thieves tools.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, go ahead and roll with advantage on that.
Okay.
And I'm out front. He drinks whiskey,
And
he drinks
it would
vodka,
be a
drink.
+8.
He drinks vodka.
It would be sleight of hand, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so it would be 22.
Okay, so Niv, at this point, you've got you got something of a crowd that's now starting to gather around you as you're putting on this performance, this concert. And Traego, as you stick your thieves' tools into the lock, you're hearing Niv singing away, and suddenly you're able to just jiggle it on, and the door opens up and swings slightly inward.
Okay. I'm going to very stealthily open the door just enough to peek my head in and kind of see if I can see anything.
Can you tell me what you're doing? Can you message to me and tell me what you're doing so I can maybe, if I can stick my head in the door too, maybe we can draw more or something?
Well, I don't know that you're there though.
That's true.
I feel like that would be metagaming. So I'm just gonna like very quickly stick my head in and see what I can see. Not really like look in like this, like I'm just gonna kind of glance in, you know.
Yeah, give me a quick perception check.
God damn it! Like I'm either rolling really bad or really fucking great. 4. God damn it!
You stick your head in. You stick your head in the room, and you see that there's a light in the distance, in the center of the room, and you can hear muffled voices, but you can't make out any of the words.
Okay, so I'm gonna message to Dan. When I'm in, back off and be ready.
And at that point,
Yeah.
I just stumble and just and pretend like I'm passed out in the street.
What? What did you say? I didn't hear that.
So Niv falls down on his face, and then suddenly the song stops, and everyone in the crowd is kind of gives out a gasp, and then they kind of lose interest, and they start, yeah, and they start moving back into their taverns, into their inns, and they get back to their business. And there's Niv sitting there face first on the ground.
I'm not using this die anymore because that's rolled really bad for me today. So I'm going to. So I hear voices like kind of in the center, and there's like the light.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna stealth in and kind of get to like the first like stack of like I'm picturing it as like rows of like boxes and shit. Is that kind of what it is? Okay,
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a standard warehouse. There's crates sort of stacked up all around, and you're able to move kind of through the crates. There's different sort of rows and alleys of the crates. Give me a stealth check. This is important.
No. Falls over the crates and knocks over some pots and pans.
12.
Not great. Like so this die is also not working well for me. So 12.
12.
Fuck.
Wait,
So
Matt, hold on. So can I tell what's holding my door? Is it like a chain?
The door has like it's a latching mechanism. You're able to sort of crack it a little bit, but it's still sort of latched and yeah, it's shut there.
Can I see any way to? Is there anything I can? I don't know, mash or hit or something to kind of break it?
You would be able to. It'll make a lot of noise if you want to try.
Yeah, I'll pass. Now I'll pass.
Okay, so Traego, you start to walk through the aisles,
and I step on a fucking cat.
And you brush up against one of the crates, and one of the crates sort of tips over and falls onto the ground, and suddenly you hear the voices. The voices stop, and it's silent.
Oh crap!
Hold on here.
Silence. They're listening.
Run!
Roll.
And I don't hear anything.
It's
silent. So I'm wondering. I probably can't do this. Just give me your roll. I'm reading on one of my skills here.
Is everybody out front now? The crowds have dispersed, and it's just me out there again.
It's just you lying down on your face with Kerrylon next to you, Bholen. I don't know what Bholen's doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up
observing.
and join Kerrylon up near the building again.
Matt, I'm stock still, not moving. I'm gonna look and see what the crate I knocked over is. Did it break open?
No, it just fell off the pile, like slid off a little bit and hit the floor.
Okay.
And hold on one second. While you're thinking, Traego, thinking, I want to jump over really quickly to Grogil, who's fast asleep.
Oh no. He's gonna get
Grogil,
robbed.
you're fast asleep. This poison is still in your body. You haven't recovered completely. You're super lethargic and slow. And you're suddenly awoken by the noise of a creaking door.
God damn it.
And you open your eyes. Your muscles are still super weak. You can't quite move. And you see a figure slide into your room. You see him placing some sort of tools into his pocket, sort of lock-picking tools or something. He walks over to your bed, comes next to you, and you immediately recognize the facial features of the same man that you talked to in the bar. He says, "Didn't think it would be that easy to get it away from us, did you?" He says, "We had plans for you." He says, "My brother. That was my brother. You put a knife through his eye. We had plans for you," he says. And he lifts up a dagger above you.
Uh-oh.
Fuck, I knew we should have left somebody back.
Can you go back to the other group?
Traego, back to Traego. Let's go back to Traego. So Traego, you just knocked over a crate.
I knocked over a crate.
And the voices are silent.
Stay tuned next week.
Right. Okay, so what's around? Like, what is close enough to me that I could hide into?
There's
anything like
crates
within
all around there? Yeah, there's crates all around there.
All right, give me a 5-second counter.
Like,
Somebody count down.
It's counting down.
All right, I'm gonna stealth. I'm gonna stealth walk out. I'm gonna walk out as quickly and stealthily as I can.
All right, give me another stealth check as you try to.
I'm not gonna push my luck.
Give me another stealth check as you try to leave the building.
14.
14.
Yeah, 14.
Okay, so you're able to slide out of the door, coming back out the same direction that you came in. You come out onto the loading dock, and you're able to get around the building and to head around to the side. And there you see Niv lying face first on the ground.
Oh, I got up
standing next to him.
I got up and talking and standing with Kerrylon.
So Niv is up talking to Kerrylon now. You see Bholen there. The four of you are able to congregate now in the square.
I'm still next to. Now that there's no more bellowing voice, am I able to hear anything on the inside?
You go ahead and give me another perception check.
14.
You hear this faint a sound of dripping, kind of resonating in space. And after a few seconds, you hear some muffled voices and some movement. And that's all.
Is anybody in there? Kerrylon, do you hear anything?
Wait, okay, so Dan and Kerrylon, they're up by the door, right? Are you still up by the door?
Yes.
And then Tim Bholen, you're like kind of off to the side, like in the
I
shadows.
thought
right?
I thought we congregated.
Because I'm not congregating. I'm staying to the shadows. I'm staying out of sight.
Okay, yeah.
I'm definitely not like putting myself out in the limelight here.
I'm
Never mind.
I'm gonna back out of the door here, back away from the door.
Okay.
So everybody knows what I just heard or what's going on.
All right. So I see you three kind of by. Is there a light there? Like, well, I suppose they don't have electricity, obviously, but it's dark there, and I'm just gonna message Bholen and be like, "All right, it's time to pull back a little bit. Let's get out of here."
Do we want to pull back? We should leave somebody to watch, to guard, or
Well, get away
It
from
doesn't
there.
seem like
because
it doesn't seem like anyone's here.
No, yeah, but I'm talking to Bholen. I'm like, Bholen, we definitely need to move away from the fucking door. Get out of there, buddy. Like, it did go great. All right, it did
Run!
it didn't go great.
Yeah, it did go great.
Okay.
Apparently, I'm not a very good fucking thief, even though that's what my fucking profession is.
Just not your night.
It's a bad night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys start to pull back, following Traego's lead, and pulling back out of the center square. Let's jump back now to Grogil. Grogil, give me a Constitution save.
9.
So you, as this bird man raises this knife over you, you desperately want to raise your arm and to do something about it, and you can just barely lift your arm, but he comes slashing down with the knife into you, and he is going to strike you and do a total of oh no. 2 points of damage as he comes down. I rolled double ones. As he comes down, he strikes your arm. You're able to get up, and the knife, sort of the blade, kind of slides off, and slice kind of catches you in the shoulder, and just kind of nicks off of you. And at this point, he raises his blade to take another attack. Let's go ahead and roll initiative here.
Natural.
That's going to be awkward for him.
Natural.
Fitting.
So
Thematically
yeah.
fitting.
Xander's going to come back, and he's going to take another attack on you. And this time, he's going to come striking down again. But this time, also, you're gaining some of your strength back. You're able to pull your shoulder up, and you deflect the blade. From he is not able to strike you. And now, give me one more Constitution roll here, Grogil.
Third time's the charm.
14.
14. Okay, you can feel your muscles beginning to sort of come back to you now as the poison has begun to leave your body. You can feel your hand wrapping around your morning star, and now you are free to attack Grogil. Go ahead. Take your attack.
Kill that motherfucker.
Do I dare suggest that I not kill him outright, or do I bother?
Not with me.
Yeah.
Like,
Melee weapon is plus strength, right?
Yeah.
20.
20. Hit. Go ahead, roll damage.
did he explode?
75 damage.
Where's my morning star?
The inn burns down.
So it's the since I'm only single wielding, it's that second bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Mushroom cloud.
Yeah.
14.
We all
14.
die.
Wow. So you are able to sort of roll aside. You have your morning star next to you in the bed when you're sleeping. You pick it up, you swing it around your head, and you slash it into the side of his face, sort of taking off a chunk of his jaw, flying down. And you see this look into his eye as he spins around as a full rotation and flies against the wall, blood sort of splattering against the wood. He slides down onto the floor, and you see as he takes a breath, he says, my brother, I failed you. And he's dead.
Cool. No,
Good
that was a good
job.
job. That's all.
Next.
Yeah.
Well, I search him first.
You search him, yeah. You look on his person, and he's got a total of 36 gold pieces.
We need to shake this motherfucker down. He's got a lot of goddamn gold on him.
And that is the end of the revenge story from the killing of Bass.
Wow.
That went quickly.
Thunk. Dead.
All right. How much time do we got left to play, fellers?
Poor guy.
Like a half an hour, maybe?
Yeah.
Half hour. Okay.
So you guys, you guys are in the square. We'll jump back to you guys. Grogil is now feeling back to his normal self. We'll jump back to you guys. You congregated in the square, and
No, not in the square. We're off in a I'm
an
not
alley.
congregating. We're
We're
off in an
just-
alley.
We're
off
walking
inside of the
back
square. Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
inn, aren't we?
Well,
So-
no, like I wanted Tim. Like my intention was to you guys pull back, come to me. Like I'll tell him where I am. Come to like the north or wherever, to where we met before, where we were talking.
Okay.
So, can you message Grogil, tell him to come and find us, or tell him to follow my wolf? I'll send Sora to get him. I think we should just go in. Let's just go in.
I think we're
I
too
mean, I
far.
could,
We're
I
too
could
far
do
away.
that.
Aren't we?
Well, I could
Grogil?
message him though, but like I'm messaging you because you guys were all kind of like in front of the door, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
were just on
messaged
the
you,
other
like-
side of the building.
Say that
like-
we've all
Come,
congregated.
yeah,
in the alley.
come over here and like okay, if we can get a hold of Grogil, and if he's good, to bring him back, but we don't know if he's good, right? Like as an RP perspective, we don't know if he's like still
That's-
passed the fuck out or if he's whatever.
Tell Grogil we need him to bash some skulls. And I'll bet
Yeah.
he'll.
Okay,
it's
yeah,
about
that'd
one.
be a good
It's
one.
about 1:15 in the morning at this point.
But I can't message him because he's gonna be too far. I can only do like 120 feet.
Yeah,
Is
you're
he-
way too far away.
Yeah.
Well, so we can
So-
either come back in the morning and take a quick rest for the night. Maybe have somebody scout out or just kind of stake out.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's
So
too
was,
much.
was there
Is
was
there
there
no
anybody
babies?
in there? Did anyone
Yes.
get inside?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So didn't go great. There was a cat that made a whole bunch of noise. This is me telling them. There was a cat that made a whole bunch of noise, and there were voices. I couldn't really tell how many, but the cat really screwed everything up for me, guys. But I know there's people in there. There's manacles on the cart out back, so they're obviously transporting a living creature. And Matt, like they look pretty big, like right? They're
Oh yeah. The manacles are
Sizable
pretty
manacles.
big. Yeah.
So
Can we-
it's
hey,
not just
I got an idea. I
okay.
have an idea. Does Sora have a collar?
The collar?
Does she have like
I see where you're
tags,
going,
like
Bholen.
name tags?
I see where you're going, Bholen. Can Grogil read?
I think if we just, I don't know.
Well, you know what? How big
That's
is
my- I'm
Sora?
hoping
Because
he
I
can
might
read.
be able to ride on her. I'm only 37 pounds.
like a monkey on a dog or something.
Do we have a saddle?
No, we're not riding my wolf.
Okay, fine.
How far away are you guys? Though? I mean, can't you just run back?
Oh man, this is going totally off the rails.
I gotta tell you, I think we should go in. Fuck it, I'm done with this shit.
I want to go in
All right.
too, but we will get our
I'm
ass
not
kicked
gonna
by
go in
that.
unless we have
huge
Grogil
beast
to
there
take all
without
the damage.
Grogil.
And
I
I'm
think
telling
we
you,
gotta do it from
guys,
two angles.
Grogil absorbs way too much damage. I'm not gonna get hit with a fucking bow or an axe or something. I'm gonna let him do that. So if he's with us, I'm down to go in.
Well, let's get him. Somebody go back and get him.
How
He's
far,
not-
man? How far is he? Do we
Kill
know?
my
Like,
wolf.
Yeah. How long would it take us to go back to the inn? Or for one
You
person?
could get back to the end in probably 30, 45 minutes or so.
And
Is
then
that far
back.
away?
and
That's an hour and a half.
Yeah,
back to come.
it's a decent distance.
Are we gonna start to like feel the effects? Because it's like 1 o'clock or whatever right now.
Yeah,
Does
you
that
guys
start
haven't
affecting
slept.
us?
Pretty
Yeah,
soon you're gonna have to take exhaustion points here because it's getting late. I mean, at this point it's 1:30, 1:45 in the morning.
Well, either we go back and get Grogil and we risk exhaustion, or we wait till tomorrow and attack, in which case they could be gone,
It could
and
be
we
gone.
lose our chance.
Yeah. Let me.
Yeah,
Who's the fastest one of us? Who can get there the fastest?
not the.
If we wrote a note and put it on Sora's collar, Sora could run back to Grogil, and we'll have to cross our fingers that Grogil can read.
Just pick up the fucking telephone.
Text Grogil.
Yeah.
Snapchat.
Because we don't
killing people
even
over
know, we don't know who's in there. If
No.
we don't even know that anyone we
We
need
just-
is in this
here. We
building.
assume the orc is there, and then there's other people because I did hear voices.
And we know the little guy. Well, the orc is working for the little guy, so the assumption is they're both in there.
Yeah. Yeah. The assumption is.
What if we send Mary in there?
Here, I'm going to take out one of my.
That's
I'm
not a
gonna
It's
bad
take
not
out
my
a piece
asset
of
here.
parchment.
I'm not gonna waste
Actually,
it.
Paul, that's not a bad
Right.
idea.
I'm going to take out a piece of parchment. I'm going to write "Follow Wolf" on it,
Yeah, and I'm gonna say
and I'm going to roll it
Free-
into
no.
Sora's collar, and I'll tell
when
Kerrhylon.
I'm watching Bholen, I'm saying free ale
Free ale.
and
Yeah.
fights.
Free-
Bring Morningstar.
Yeah. Well, you know that Thor is a wolf? Does he know what a wolf is?
I'm not that dumb.
Oh,
Think like Jake
I don't
Thielen
know.
dumb.
Uh,
Might have
Tim
to cut that
up.
part out, Matt.
Shit,
Hey,
did we lose
here.
Tim?
hold on.
Oh
Tim.
man. Did we lose Tim?
Yeah, I can't.
think
He's not
so.
moving on mine.
All right, let me. I'm gonna use the restroom. I'll be right back. So here we go. You guys, what's the plan now? You want to carry out here, Bholen?
Sora, I'm sending Sora back to Grogil to say, get your ass, follow the fucking wolf. You come
Yeah.
back.
It's got the note in his collar or whatever.
Follow
So-
the wolf. Violence and beer.
Ale.
Ale.
Yeah.
And ale.
So Grogil is just put on the killing blow on Sanu. His face sort of splatters up against the wall. He falls down, and with his dying words, sort of laments his failure in avenging his brother. And a few minutes later, or quite a few minutes later, this wolf comes flying up into the door, smashing through the door,
Look at the dead body.
and jumps up onto Grogil's bed. And Grogil, there's a note there, stuck into the collar, parchment. You pull the note out, you open it up. Go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
Oh, for
Here we
fuck's
go.
sake.
Hold on, if you kill my wolf, I will fuck you up.
8.
All we need is like him to understand wolf and ale. All we need.
Bholen, what did you write?
Follow wolf, violence, and ale.
Follow wolf, violence, ale.
Four.
Okay,
More
so
violence than ale.
all right, hold on, let me roll this. Okay, so Grogil looks at the note, he pulls it out, and he understands one word, the third word, violence. And he looks at it and says, violence. Grogil, what do you say to that?
But doesn't the wolf just leave them, or like?
The wolf turns around and takes off, yeah.
They don't have a thesaurus there.
He understands the word violence, but not ale.
Yeah.
It's private property. God damn it.
What happened?
People walking in my fucking yard.
What?
Shotgun.
Violence!
Just walk outside and whip your dick out and start pissing on the yard. Just like, hey, what's up?
Violence!
Pull out your Morningstar.
Roll it.
That's more
Roll
like
something to decide.
yeah, that's more like a pocket knife.
You don't live near a school, do you?
About a mile and a half away from one. Probably not.
So I'm gonna make my way down to the lobby.
Okay, so you make your way down to the lobby, and you
Lobby.
see,
Wow, that's
you-
good.
Yeah.
right? This is a nice inn. It's got a nice lobby, and Sora's sitting there, the wolf, and she obviously is trying to get you to follow her and leading you out of the building.
I don't know. I want to follow her. I mean, like, I'm a dumbass. Maybe I think she wants to play fetch.
We'll say for the sake of brevity that Grogil, you in fact follow Sora out It is now 2:30 in the morning, and you guys are all tired. I'm gonna have each of you take 1 point of exhaustion now because you haven't slept in I think over 16 hours. So each of you now has 1 point of exhaustion. Traego, you actually did you get rid of your other point?
I did because we did have a.
You did have a full rest.
We did have a full rest.
Didn't I sleep for like 3 hours though?
That's not.
You got a couple hours in, yeah. The rest of you, or including Grogil, actually, you know what? We're gonna let you pass on this because you did get some sleep. The rest of you take 1 point of exhaustion now, which means you have disadvantage on all your rolls.
So is there somewhere
until you get a long rest
on the sheet to mark that? Or not?
I put it on my hit points.
Just throw a little note there.
Yeah.
So disadvantage on all your checks.
Like on checks or like attack?
Yeah,
like
all your ability checks.
Oh shit!
All of our abilities? Wow.
Yeah.
So Grogil eventually sort of follows Sora, and she leads him back, and here is the group kind of hidden off in the alley, the side alley, outside of the square that separates Lower Gate Town from Upper Gate Town, and Grogil comes up to you guys.
So just out of curiosity, so does that we all feel the same thing, like, oh fuck, I just lost a point and everything, man?
It's not like an instantaneous thing, but it's sort of come on you slowly. And at this point, when Grogil gets to you, you realize that, man, we are tired.
I'm still wearing my disguise too.
Yeah. So Grogil gets there. I'm gonna point at the door and say,
"Go."
He's in there. He's in there. Violence. Yeah.
Wait, who do we want to keep alive, though? We want to keep one of them alive.
One of who?
That's not how I operate.
I'm assuming that Grogil is just going to go for the big orc.
Yeah.
Right?
But the orc knows somebody that knows.
We want to...
Guys.
No, what the orc knows...
We need the little guy or the big guy?
The little guy's dead.
Yeah.
We don't know that.
But we don't know that, though. We don't know that. So
bring it up. Say... We want the little, or we want one of them alive? And you need the little one? Yeah, I killed him.
Okay.
Well, you got blood on you. We're gonna say, what the fuck happened, dude? You're hurt. You got blood on you.
Yeah. Why do you got splatter all over your face and viscera?
Viscera.
Viscera. What the fuck?
Bone and sinew.
Oh.
At the door.
So I just drank my drink from last night.
Ooh.
Is it good?
No.
This is my suggestion.
Water
that we split up. We got 2 doors we've checked out.
Yeah. Do
we want to start smashing one door and everybody else go in the other door?
That's a good plan.
Okay.
I'm good with that. Let's
go. Not Grogil, but like somebody stays Grogil and the other people go to the other door.
I'll stay with Grogil just because he's probably going to take the most damage. I'll be able to heal him.
Guys, I'm not really in great shape here. Like,
none of us are in great shape. We all acknowledge this. This is not a good idea.
This is weird.
It's a really bad idea.
You could just party white.
Yeah.
It's been fun, guys.
So give me a summary here now.
Okay.
We got Grogil and Bholen in the front of the building. How's this looking?
I'm staying back from Bholen. I'm not like Grogil's going to run in, but I'm just going to be observing. I want to stay far enough away where they don't know that I'm necessarily involved, but I can still see Grogil to cast like healing spells if I need.
So I'm gonna look at Bholen and be like, I'll let you know when we're ready.
Thumbs up.
Okay. So I'm gonna make my way, assuming
behind.
We're gonna be falling behind and going back to where I broke in. I didn't relock the door because I just left in a hurry. So I'm gonna stealthily sneak in and try not to step on another cat, quote unquote.
Okay, give me another stealth check, Traego.
I think all of us need to though.
Are you going in by yourself, or who's going in with you?
No, I think all 3 of us are following behind him.
Okay, all of you, give me a stealth check. You who are going back.
Do you want me to go in first, and then you stay at the door, and then once battle starts,
should let Grogil go in first. Let Grogil go in first, and then everybody else.
We want to be in position though.
We want Grogil to hit the door with his Morning Star.
Yeah. Okay. So how about this? I'm gonna tell these 2. I'm gonna go in. You stay right at the door. It's unlocked. Once you hear fighting, you rush in as hard as you fucking can. And I'm gonna try to get some good sneak attacks and shit. But I don't know. Like, are you good at are you good at stealthing? I don't even know. I guess Paul probably would be.
You can sneak around the back. I mean,
so here's what
nobody's outside.
So Charlie, you go and you sneak in, see if you can't get closer to see what's going on, get some more intel. And when you see whatever, if something goes down, you can kind of tell Bholen,
right,
we're in, it's go time to have Grogil start to attack the door.
Okay, yeah,
Got it.
good point. All right, so I'm going to try to stealth in. The door is already open.
Give me a stealth check here, Traego.
Goddamn good one.
But you have disadvantage, remember?
Oh, I have
yeah.
disadvantage. So
Because you're exhausted.
You nail it.
okay, so 16.
Okay.
Yeah, 16.
16. So Traego, you stealth in the door again, and you're able to make your way along the crates, and you can hear now, you can see in the center of the room, you see this light, and as you get closer, you see that it's a lantern, and it's emitting quite a bit of light, and sitting around the lantern, you see, it's hard to tell exactly how many, but you see Gorlog sitting there by the lantern, surrounded by a whole host of orcs, and you can hear them speaking, and as you listen, you listen, you hone your ear in. You hear them saying, yes, you hear Gorlog saying, yes, we're so close to getting him. We're going to take him to the Vidorak Legion. There's big money involved in this, but we still have a chance. I sent Zanu to him. Hopefully, we'll at least have a body.
And a whole legion means like 10 guys?
No, they mentioned the name, the Vidorak Legion.
Oh, like so how many guys are there right now?
Give me a perception check, actually, because it's pretty dark.
Oh, good.
And we're all back, right?
Oh, they're
Yeah.
both terrible. Like bad. A 2 and a 3. Like,
You can't tell. At
yeah.
least 7. At least 7, but you can't tell.
All right, guys, I'm making an executive decision. We
Good.
can't do this.
Let's
This
see.
is not.
Let's pull back and see if we can't get them to come out. We can pick them off with our
Yeah.
arrows.
Yeah. This is
You
not
guys.
a good idea.
It's too late.
What do you mean?
How are you gonna stop me? Someone got a good way to stop me.
We did say violence.
Shit. Oh, fuck.
Well,
So,
isn't there a message spell or something?
I was gonna be messaging Bholen, which is who's with you. I'm like, there could be well over a dozen people in here, plus the big orc. This is not. We can't accomplish
Okay.
this tonight.
And is Grogil staying by me, or has he already ran into the fray?
Oh,
What
I
are you
brought
doing?
him-
What have you done?
Nothing. I'm
Okay.
waiting.
I'll tell Grogil there's probably 12 of them
Ugh.
in that inside.
Shit, I was
We
gonna.
cannot win. I will say we cannot win this battle.
I fucked up telling you what I should have said. I should have said that like they're gone. There's nobody here right now. Because that's the only way. Like, oh no, they're all gone. They all
No
left.
violence.
Fuck.
So that's what I tell. That's what I tell them. Like, we cannot win this battle. We need to back off and regroup.
Okay, I'm fine
Give
with
me
that.
a
I'm tired.
persuasion check there, Bholen.
Wait, I said I was persuaded.
No, I gotta see this.
Persuasion. 11.
11?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Grogil, you're persuaded. You listen to Bholen. You listen to his reasonable words.
I'll message back to Traego and just say, I've convinced Grogil to stand down.
Okay.
Come back.
So
Yeah. All right.
now this might be funny to everyone, but it also is part of the role playing. Okay, so don't get mad, don't laugh. I'm gonna
Here we
squat
go.
down and take a
Already,
giant
motherfucker.
poop right on the loading dock.
You're not on the loading dock.
All Or the door, right in front of the door.
Yeah,
Right
you're in front of the door. I'm at the loading dock.
Do we light it on fire?
Fair.
Too?
Grogil drops a big deuce right in front of the door, and he doesn't charge in, but he drops a deuce.
Can we roll for smell?
I'll
Can I
use
cast
thaumaturgy.
prestidigitation?
I'm gonna use thaumaturgy to make some wind, like a big gust of wind, go into the warehouse from the poop. Like
Oh, we're gonna get like blindsided into this fight.
That's happened like 3 times almost already, so we're good.
So Traego, you're inside of this, and there's a suddenly a wind that blows through, and you smell this disgusting smell of half-orc scat floating in.
Did you just say scat?
Scat, yeah.
What are you bop 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 bop?
Yeah,
You're a
what are
scat
you
man.
into over there in Sweden? Jeez.
And as I smell this,
And
I'm still messaging Bholen. I'm like,
what the?
did somebody shit?
That was Grogil. That was
Oh,
Grogil.
there's a shock.
Grogil shat at the
I
doorstep.
suggest we back off.
And once again, you hear Traego, you're inside. Once again, you hear the voices sort of slow down and quiet down. And once again, they listen, and you hear this. And then you hear footsteps as they begin to walk towards the front door.
Run!
I'm gonna message back to Bholen. You may have incoming. You might have incoming. Hold on here 1 second. I want to read this.
Can I throw a rock at Grogil to get his attention while he's deucing?
Go for it.
Well, I'm trying to I'm reading the sleep spell that I used before. I just want to make sure if I can cast it on people that I can't really see, because they're behind like crates and shit, right?
Yeah.
The spell sends creatures into a magical slumber. Roll 5d8. The total of so many hit points of creatures that the spell can affect. Creatures within 20 feet of a point you choose within range are affected in ascending order of their current hit points. So the range is 90 feet.
Matt,
So I would say you have to see the point.
How far is Traego from this group?
I would say he's within a good 40-50 feet. He got pretty close here.
And so how far am I outside the door?
Outside the door, yeah, you're about 50 or 60 feet.
Okay.
From Traego? Or
From
the group?
from the people in the group, yeah.
Guys, I just had a great idea. If we know there's people in there, let's light the fucking place on fire.
We need information, bro.
No, we need to kill everyone.
Okay, so they're heading towards the front, right?
Yeah, they're heading towards the front door. And you hear this Gorlog's heavy breathing as he comes close to the front door. He sees that the door is slightly cracked open from Kerrhylon's attempt to open it before.
Crap. I threw that rock at Grogil to get his attention, right?
Yep, you hit Grogil. Grogil, you look
Matt.
back, you see Bholen.
Is there I'm just reading the sleep spell.
All this from a poop?
Well, and Tim wafting it into the fucking warehouse. Like, get that shit in there. Can I cast sleep on these guys? I'm trying to figure out if I can or not.
You're actually not close enough.
Within 20
Sorry. A point within range.
The range is 90
range is 90 feet. Yeah, you could. They have I'll just let you know they have quite a few hit points though, so you're not going to get many of them to fall asleep.
You and I have no idea what's going on, right?
No.
But we
Yeah,
have
we're
at
just standing around out back.
a dozen guys. Shit, we might be fucked here, fellers.
You guys
All over.
got yourself.
How long do they stay? How long do they stay asleep? Is it just like one round, or is it an
You
hour?
gotta do so much
One
damage
mission.
to them.
1 minute.
1 minute.
They'll stay asleep for a minute, which is
But you're
10
not.
rounds.
You're only gonna get a couple of sleep
Right.
tokens because of the way the spell works.
yeah. We might.
Yeah,
only
you
get,
won't. You won't get many of them with sleep spell. They've got pretty high hit points there.
Like I just
We
want
need
to
to
message
run.
Bholen.
We need
I
to
want to
run.
message Bholen like.
We need to run.
Gorlog finally gets to the front door,
I want to message.
and you can see his breath coming out of the door as he grabs the door and opens the latch and slams the door open and looks out, and there he sees
Grogil taking a dump.
Grogil taking a crap.
I was done.
Niv.
Tell me you're pulling up your pants.
And he says,
Oh my god.
Greenshanks! And he picks up his axe
Oh,
and
fuck.
starts to swing. And
Wow,
that, I think, is
hold on,
where
hold
we
on.
should end for the night,
Oh,
right
Because
there.
my suggestion spell, how long has it been since he fought him the first time? Man.
Oh, I thought it was the afternoon.
Yeah, that was in the afternoon, so that's gone.
Because suggestion lasts 8 hours.
Yep.
It's been
Yeah,
more
he
than
fu-
8 hours.
He fought him at like 2 in the afternoon.
Ah.
You guys, it's
It's
like
like
almost
2
3 in the
in the- yeah.
morning. So
God
as
damn it.
Gorlog comes, he wipes open the door, sees the 3 of you standing there, pulls out his axe, and starts to strike. And that's where we
Fuck
can
that
actually
so
end it
bad.
for tonight and pick this up next session.
We
God
fucked
damn
up
it.
so bad.